So, man, on the Undisputed GOAT podcast, you know what? If y'all could be flies on the wall before the show start and after the show was in, it will be just epic. One of these days, we're gonna release a lot of footage called before the show and after the show.
Dude, I say everything off show that I do. I say everything on air, anyways. You just got
you do, but
not every and all that. No, you don't.
That's true.
No, you don't.
That's true.
No, you don't.
The one thing that I didn't. The one thing, Champ, you got off.
I told Champ. Is this the Laravel carrier thing? Because I told him.
I almost said something about feathers.
Yeah, you did, but
I told him. God.
I don't think you had left. You got off like right away, but I told BRF what ran through my brain, and he was like, "Oh Jesus, like that's a yeah." So that was probably the like yeah that would have
kicked off the damn.
That would have broke us. That would have broke us
all the way off.
That would have broke us.
Yeah, that would have been.
Ooh, that would have broke us.
Show YouTube would have gave us because we got kicked off the damn.
It'd have been funny though.
It would have been funny, but we wouldn't have been doing the damn show. Look, man, welcome to the Undisputed GOAT podcast, man. We got the gentleman of Georgia, myself, BRF, and we have the personification of greatness, the man from Wisconsin, Flash 22. What's going on, man? How y'all doing this week, man?
I'm doing good. Long family stuff weekend. Brothers and sisters were in town from Florida and Minnesota and stuff, so it was a good weekend.
Good. Flash,
to the viewers out there, if you see my caption, it says "fresh off vacay." About a week removed from Davenport, Florida. Had a really good time. Was still even able to put out a little content because I'm dedicated, because I love my fans like that. Put out a video today. If you ain't seen it already, check it out. Basically, MLB awards predictions for the remainder of the 2025 season. If y'all ain't checked it out, check it out. Also plug the show because I got to plug the show because that's what we do. But I mean, it's been good. It's been good. And my last day off before I hit it back tomorrow for work. So I'm just kind of getting my rest in, enjoying it, but life is good. And, laugh my butt off at the craziness that was WNBA All-Star festivities, among other stuff. And I'm ready to get in here and talk about it.
Hey, look, just going to be real, man. That was a memorable All-Star weekend, bro. It was one of those inside scoop deals that they had. It's kind of like all the members of the WWE or somebody in the Super Bowl, and they just giving you the inside scoop. That live stream was 72 hours straight. Hours straight, man. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. Now, here's a question that my guy Flash had to ask. My guy Flash asked. And, since the WWE is on and we are wrestling fans, is this Seth Rollins injury? Is it a work? Y'all think it's a work?
I want to hear Flash first, and then I'll give my thoughts.
Yes, absolutely, it's a work. So Rollins went on, I think, Rich Eisen's show. Was it Rich Eisen's show? I think so. I think it was Rich Eisen's show. Was talking.
It was a Rich Eisen show. He guest hosted.
They were talking fantasy football and the Bears because Rollins is a big Bears fan. And he was like, oh well, we did some imaging, and the swelling is just too bad, so we're going to revisit it in a week. That's a load of crap. Okay, that was on Monday or Tuesday, and the injury happened on Saturday night. We're a week out, more than a week out, and we still have no actual, what the injury actually is. And I'm going to tell you why it's a work. CM Punk is going for the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, August 1st and August 2nd. There's a quote that Seth Rollins said to CM Punk, as long as I am breathing, CM Punk will never become world champion ever. This is prime perfect opportunity right here for Rollins to cash in that title or cash in that Money in the Bank. And the fact that they haven't disclosed what the injury is, it is a total work. It's masterfully done, and Rollins is the perfect one to try to sell an injury. Michaels did it multiple times. He did it in ring, and it was like he kind of faked it. But there were multiple times where Michaels acted like he blew out a knee. The other thing, too, is if you go back and watch the match, the ref never does this. If it was an actual injury, the ref would have done this. And they never did. And the ref, she never did. So right then and right there, I think it's a work. And that's my theory, is that Seth, he's out 4 to 6 months or 9 to 12 months. And Punk is going to come close to winning the title, or he will win the title, and then Rollins will cash in after he gets the crap kicked out of him by Breaker and by
Ron.
Bronson Reed. That's my theory. BRF.
Yeah, you kind of along the same lines as I am, because I think he's legit hurt, but it's not as extended out as they're gonna make it out to be. Which I do still think the ultimate end game is a cash in. But I don't know. Like, the more I've seen stuff posted and I've seen rumors and I've seen angles, as much as him cashing in on CM Punk, if he were to win the World Heavyweight Championship, would make total sense, I have also heard that there's rumblings that there may be a bit of a trade to get the World Heavyweight title on SmackDown. And basically it would be Gunther for LA Knight, because they've been pushing for LA Knight to go to Raw for the longest anyway. So they could do a Gunther for LA Knight trade around the draft to get the World Heavyweight title on SmackDown. And then the cash in could be on the WWE Championship and bringing that to Raw. Because you know how they are. They are like Triple H is like the king of a good swerve. And what better swerve would it be for Seth to cash in on who wins between Cody and Cena? I don't know, but I mean, I'm kind of interested in seeing what I'm interested to seeing what. Hey, look, the Gunther versus the LA Knight, the Gunther LA Knight trade, it was a talking point at one point. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but it was a legit talking point at one point about just as recent, like a couple weeks ago. Like, it was a legit talking point. So it doesn't rule it out of the question. But yeah, like Seth cashing on Punk, it does make more sense. But we'll see. It wouldn't shock me at all if, like I said, I think he's hurt. I just don't think it's an extended time frame as they're gonna make it seem. And like the end game is probably gonna end up being SummerSlam anyway. But I'm glad to see that after how lackluster the build was with Saturday night's main event and Evolution, even though Evolution, in my opinion, is pound for pound WWE PLE of the year. That includes Elimination Chamber. That includes WrestleMania Night 2. That includes Money in the Bank. I think Evolution is WWE PLE of the year, pound for pound. From top to bottom, I think Evolution is PLE of the year.
I don't know if it beats out Money in the
I don't think it pound for pound. I would put Elimination Chamber with it, up there with it. Pound for pound, I would put Elimination Chamber up there with it.
I think the women's division has been better than the men's division all year.
Oh, all year, that ain't no question. The women's division's been better.
We've been saying that ever since December of
last year.
I
know, but it's now we're halfway through the year and now they went head to head on a pay-per-view, and their pay-per-view was far better than Saturday Night Main Event. Like
the reason why I say the Evolution 2 is PLE of the year, the reason why I give it to it as opposed to Elimination Chamber is the lack of build they had, and to still pull that off to where there was not a bad match on the show at all.
No.
And we're talking about Io and Rhea being a match of the year candidate. I mean,
and the fact that Trish and Tiffy had a great match, probably one of Tiffy's best matches ever, which is saying something that she did that with Trish. And Trish hasn't been in the ring since whenever that was, that one SmackDown or whatever in Toronto, I think, for that tag team title thing with Tiffy. Like,
it was elimination. It was Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. So yeah, like the you know, you had the Naomi thing. You on top of it, you're for some odd reason, and I didn't think this was going to be interesting. Like, they're making Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss interesting. I didn't think it would be possible. And,
this is Alexa Bliss doing God's work, man. She is just talented.
They are making Charlotte likable.
Mm-hmm.
And considering that the amount of hate she was getting 3 months ago, or after WrestleMania or after the Rumble, and she was she got the most bullying on Twitter or X or whatever out of any celebrity. That's just that's not even just WWE. Like, any celebrity, she got the most hate, and now people are like,
she got some of the biggest at the whole show.
What?
Like, she got some of the biggest, that entire Evolution PLE. She got one of the biggest roars. Like, that hot tag, that was one of the biggest roars of the whole show.
Yeah,
we are talking about we want Charlotte chance in 2025.
Well,
it's crazy.
I have a question. Is this one of the biggest about faces in general when it comes to going from fans' pure hatred to actually a baby face? And she wasn't even getting good heat. It was go away heat. That's two different things.
It was X-Pac heat.
No,
it was X-Pac heat.
It wasn't go away. It was get the fuck away from here heat. That's just
it was bad.
That was talking about it was X-Pac. No, we call it X-Pac heat. That's what they go. It's X-Pac heat. Don't be on my TV. Don't be on my screen. We don't want you here.
X-Pac.
But it got to a point where it was bad. It got to a point where it was bad with X-Pac. There was no character development. He was the same dude for 2-3 years. Even when they brought him back to the NWO, he was the same dude, and it got to a point where people were tired of him. It's definitely one of the biggest about faces we've seen in a long time, and it basically what it revolves around is they have something for Charlotte to do that is not world title relevant.
Yes.
And they put her with the absolute perfect talent to go along with, because Alexa Bliss is one of the most over wrestlers in the entire company right now. So it works. And also interviews that she's been doing, opening up. She is making herself relatable, and it helps being with somebody like Alexa Bliss, who's back from having a kid. And it's just just coming back and doing her thing and looking like she hasn't lost a beat, but it's her showing vulnerability, like the divorce, the divorce with Andrade and all the other stuff that's been going on in her life. And it's fans, you have to give the fans a reason to want to get behind you. And at the beginning, it was WWE Charlotte Flair, another world title shot. Nope, we don't want it. Yep. But this is finally something she can sink her teeth in that's not relevant to the women's world title or the WWE Women's Championship. And now I'm thinking, if they do this right, you could put a world championship back on Charlotte and the fans won't be upset if you do this right. Because there aren't too I don't think there's a lot of women in the division. I mean, the division is deep, don't get me wrong. But there's still a handful of women out there that you could put the world title on with full on credibility and you're good with it. And whether people like it or not, Charlotte Flair is still one of them. But you just got to do it at the right moment. But I still think she's at least still a year away from even remotely being in a title picture and not having fans just basically jump all over her. I think she's still at least a year away.
Oh, but that's the thing. Like, let this ride out. Like, they could be like, I'm trying to think of like a random tag team that was thrown together with two main eventers that just
Dude Love and Stone Cold.
Yeah,
Rocket Mankind.
Yeah, it's just Kane and Daniel Bryan. That
I wouldn't call Kane a main eventer then. It's just that the Kane character was still over with the fans then. I wouldn't call him a main eventer then. And Daniel Bryan was nowhere near a main eventer yet, but it was just something that clicked and it worked. It was like they got over organically as a tag team. That's what made it so. That's what made it such a good tag team. And I think this election. And honestly, I was one of those kind of hoping that they did this, just because I kind of had a feeling Alexa Bliss could save that woman, and so far it's working.
Well, I'm also like, because we've been hearing about Alexa Bliss and the Wyatt Six since before she even came back, and
I didn't want to see her do that yet.
Well, and that hasn't materialized for whatever reason, whether it be injuries or whatever else. But I also kind of didn't want to see her do it for some reason. I'm kind of with the injuries that the Wyatt Six have had. I'm kind of over the Wyatt Six. I love Bray. I do. I miss Bray. I just think whatever thing that they were going to do, I think it just the momentum kind of petered out a little bit, and now I'm kind of
the time away killed them.
Yeah, it did. Like the injuries and the time away randomly just kind of it killed the momentum, and now I'm kind of like, you know what? I don't need Alexa Bliss to do this. Like, because this is the problem with that group. Like, what are you? They don't there's no real other faction right now that they can do anything with.
Mm-mm.
And so, what are you going to do with them? And I think that's
other than just walk in randomly and scare the hell out of people.
Yeah, and that's going to get old real quick. It's going to get old real quick. So, like, I was kind of hoping that they would go against the Judgment Day, but that ain't happening. Because the Judgment Day.
I mean, it's not going to happen now, but I know there were rumblings that they were thinking about it, and honestly, I would have liked it, but I mean, I hate it. Look, I'm not going to say I'm not happy for them winning the WWE Tag Team titles. I'm not going to say that. Where I was upset at was the fact that you had the Street Profits putting in all this work in the tag team division to try to make those tag team championships. I'm talking about that division. Let me tell you something. Do people not remember how ticked off fans were that you put the Raw tag team titles on WrestleMania and not the SmackDown tag team titles? And the SmackDown tag team titles was like one of the best matches of that entire week from WrestleMania weekend through SmackDown, having that triple threat tables, ladders, and chairs match. How did look, I love the New Day. I respect the War Raiders. How did the TLC match not make the WrestleMania card and the World Tag Team title match made it? That is still like baffling to me how the TLC match did not make that card. That you put that TLC match would have saved night one. Would have saved it. Because night one was terrible outside of Seth Rollins and Punk. That TLC match would have saved night one.
I know a lot of this has been a very inconsistent booking year for the WWE. Like there have been some really good moments, and then there's been a lot of like it's like 80s music. It's like either really, really good or really, really bad, and there's no in betweens. There's not a lot of right. It's just
for every Guns N' Roses album, you get a BG's album.
Yeah. Well, it's like every time let's not kill the Bee Gees here, but like
I'm just being dramatic.
You get a little faking Milli Vanilli in there and stuff like it's just not and I just I just don't think
Milli Vanilli was not bad. Milli Vanilli was not necessarily like bad. They were put in a position they couldn't help themselves.
You could help yourself. I don't get me wrong. I still love that song, but I mean, it's still there. They're one of the running jokes.
The only thing I remember about Milli Vanilli, the beef between them and Arsenio Hall.
Oh God! Talking about poor memories.
That was the only. That was the only thing I remember about that is, Arsenio going on TV saying, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, you are through," and he was singing and talking all types of shit. Oh, and that was the funniest thing.
I miss Arsenio Hall.
No, I never forget. He said I never forget one of the guys. But he said, I think Millie over Dilly said he was going to kick my ass. He said, first of all, the damn name Millie would never whoop my ass. He said, Suge, but not Millie.
Oh, poor Milli Vanilli.
And everybody got what the gimmick said when he said Suge. Everybody talking about Suge Knight. Shout out to Suge Knight, man, the boogeyman of the music industry, man.
Oh God.
Yeah, well. All right. So, all right. Should we go on to the street fight now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can, because we can.
Let's move on to that. Do y'all think what are y'all thoughts on the up and coming street fight? Is this a trilogy within itself? Is it gonna end like the Cactus Jack and like Triple H trilogy with a Hell in a Cell, or is this the beginning of a Cody's heel turn?
If you're going to do it, WWE, I want you to hear me out. Hear me out here. You don't have a better opportunity to pull this off than SummerSlam, because Cena's getting that sympathy again. He's been getting it for a while, but there's a clip like after SmackDown where Homeboy was like getting really emotional because the fans were like cheering the daylights out of him. He's trying to stay in kayfabe, and he couldn't stay in kayfabe. Like, if you're gonna do it, you do it at SummerSlam, or you're not gonna do it anytime soon. Like, and there's like little Easter eggs, like the glasses Cody's wearing, similar to what The Rock wore that Netflix on Raw. The watch he wore was the watch he wore was the exact same watch The Rock gave him. The exact same watch. So I mean, I don't want to be the conspiracy theories and all that stuff, but there's little Easter eggs, like, if you gonna do it, I don't know if they're gonna do it, but if you're gonna do it,
does The Rock make an appearance? I hate bringing this up.
Hell no.
Rumors is they're actually discussing it. That's why I'm not. I ain't getting my hopes up. I think if he shows up, I think it's gonna happen.
I don't think they should, man, because the thing is, we had all year to see him around and about and stuff like that. I don't think that they should, man. It's just like after a while it gets old.
If he's
like,
gonna
go ahead.
If he's gonna commit to this shit, fine. But if not, stay away.
Yeah. If you're gonna come back if you're gonna dedicate yourself to this. If not, don't come back.
Yeah, don't do this. Okay, my theory is if The Rock does come back, I think it's to do the slow setup for Rock Cena. I still think Rock is Cena's last match. Gunther makes no sense in any aspect whatsoever. One,
it doesn't.
They're both champions right now. Gunther doesn't need the rub, and there's no history there. And this is what you've been saying all along, like Cena's, the timeline of John Cena, essentially.
We about to hit up in that redemption arc.
Yeah, and we're going through his greatest hits. Well, The Rock is and their WrestleMania they're two WrestleMania. Like that's one of the biggest things that we've seen in wrestling history, and to not do that at all, I still think that I don't think it's the Cody turn. I think the Cody turn is the Cody turn is a red herring just to throw us off. That's what I think.
Oh, my bad.
At least it wasn't porn.
Thank God.
No, I was it was going to the next segment, but I hit it too early. My fault, guys. Y'all continue to cook.
That's okay.
But I think the Cody Hill turn is coming. I don't think it's coming now, but I think it's coming. Because I think it's coming. I think it's coming because I feel like in his tweets, in one of Cody's tweets, and I think he's trying to. I think he's at least starting to entertain it a little bit, and some of the reactions he's got recently is like some of flat out. He's got some that he blew the roof off in the cheer for him. But then you get some that's kind of like mixed. Is like I know he's always been like that, but I think some of it was a little more prevalent than it was before. So
it depends on
like I don't think
they're in though. But it depends on the city they're in. The more marks in the crowd are the ones that are gonna like hardcore cheer for Cena no matter what.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. Like your Phillies, your Chicago's, your New York's, your places like that. Yeah, they're going. Yeah, of course. But at the same time, though, with the WWE, I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm not gonna push for the Cody Hill turn, but I'm just forewarning people that's pushing for the Cody Rhodes heel turn. You are not ready. And I will reiterate this. You are not ready because prepare to have your mind blown if it does happen. Because as good of a face as Cody Rhodes is, you can argue he's a better heel when he's on his game. So I'm just forewarning people. Don't be careful what you ask for because when you get it, y'all gonna be like, oh my God. But I think a street fight's the right stipulation for the match. I mean, and like at this point with Cena's career, like he could still wrestle. Don't get me wrong, but he's nowhere near. He's not what he was like 2015, 2017, like that match with Roman at No Mercy. Like he's not there, but I think a street fight is the right call here. The bells and whistles, and you can overbook the daylights out of it if you really want to. I think a street fight's the right call. And I think this is going to be a far better match than what WrestleMania 41 was. I think it's going to be a far better match. And I know that ain't the highest of bars, but I think it's going to be a much better match.
I think the setup is. Now I know that I the eye roll because of just what he's done the last year or lack thereof. I think the setup is the Cody heel turn, but I think that's the whatever, but I think it's to set up that Cena's going to do the face turn. And then Rock comes in and is like, whoa, dude, like we had a deal here or something like that, and kind of forces Cena to not. So then you have that Willie won't he moment. Because that's been kind of teased too over the last couple months. The Willie won't there's like that hint of regret in there. That's happened multiple times, not just off air, but like also on air. So, we'll see. I am not on the Cody heel bandwagon yet. He is still,
I'm not ruling it out though.
He's still the face of the organization.
I'm still not ruling it out.
He doesn't have. Look, I got to end it right here because I have a special surprise segment. This was not a part of the show. This is impromptu as hell. But I'm going to end it on this. He doesn't have a Stone Cold Steve Austin to his Rock. He doesn't have another face that could carry the face as he goes to be a heel. that's what's stopping that from happening, I believe.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. They just ain't got back to that angle yet.
Who?
Roman
Reigns.
Oh, good point.
They just ain't got back to that angle yet. Yes, he does. They just ain't got to that yet.
No, and that's where I do agree that's that Rock Austin thing, but Roman's character is more on the level of Austin than Rock. Is the tweener heel babyface. That's Roman, not Cody. Cody's the classic babyface, kissing babies, being involved with kids. Roman's still Roman. Like almost every promo that Roman has cut since he's been back, not just now, but like previously before him, like it's reminding everybody, like, I'm still Roman Reigns. Like, y'all cheering for me, but I'm still Roman Reigns. Like, I'm still the tribal chief, and there I have my end goals or my end game. Roman, for as great as he is, isn't the classic babyface they need at the head of the company, like a Cody or a John Cena that has the kiddies, like my daughter jumping up and down and stuff like that. Like, that's not Roman. So I think that's where I think you don't need Cody to turn heel to have a Cody Roman rivalry. You don't. So that's where I don't think Cody turns heel. I think Cody could be that like Shawn Michaels thing where he'll turn heel when he needs to be for like a storyline, but not full-blown heel. He'll cross some lines, but he won't go full-blown heel. That's just me. That's my thoughts.
All right. So this is very impromptu. This was not planned. This is me being the guy that I am. So Sports Illustrated came out with its all-century team. And I want y'all to look at the list.
Yes.
For the offense.
Okay.
No, that's probably a bad download, but yeah, that was the best that I could do on such short notice. But we got that pigskin coming up next week. What are y'all thoughts about the all-century team? Is there an omission to it at this point as far as offense?
Let's see. There's some switches that need to be made, I feel.
What's that, BRF?
Rob Gronkowski's first team offense, not Travis Kelce. I think Gronk's better than Kelce. Let's see here. And then I'm looking at the tight ends. Do I put Gonzalez in front of Kelce? I don't think I do now. So I think Kelce would be worth. I think Kelce's good as the second team. You know how I still feel about Peyton Manning. I understand what Patrick Mahomes is second team offense, but y'all know how I feel about Peyton Manning. So if I'm gonna ride with Peyton Manning like I do, I'm gonna stick with my guns. He should be second team offense. And put Patrick Mahomes third team. I'm gonna stick to my guns. Let's see. Larry Fitzgerald first team over T.O. and Julio. I don't. Whoo, man. Gosh.
I put Marshall Faulk above LaShawn McCoy.
Really?
Marshall Faulk above Shady McCoy. Wait, hold on. What? See, I can't. Yeah. What does it say at the top?
So this is
like I see first team, second team, third team offense. What's like the red at the top? I can't read that.
This is all it says is NFL all quarter century team.
Okay. So this is all quarter century team. So this is from 2000 to now. Yes, I agree with Flash. I agree with Flash as far as Marshall Faulk goes. He should be at least 13.
Marshall Faulk is like nobody talks about. He is arguably a top 6 running back of all time. He was literally like Roger Craig times 1,000. If he would have been, he could have been a Pro Bowl wide receiver. That's how good he was in the slot. So I not to mention he won an MVP in 2000.
Yeah, he was all
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
like there's no disrespect to Shady McCoy. I don't think he's anywhere near Marshall Faulk, and I think Marshall Faulk should be
No. Even yeah, exactly. Even with the idea that Marshall Faulk was like, how many years he playing this quarter century? I still would take Marshall Faulk over Shady McCoy.
The only reason I say Faulk is his MVP was in 2000. So
yeah, y'all see it better now.
Yeah, yes, a little bit. Yeah, I'm looking at
that's a little better.
I don't disagree with the wide receivers at all. I put Gronk over Kelsey. That may be a little bit of bias, but I actually put Kelsey third behind Gronk.
See, because I personally would too, to be honest.
There's an argument that look, I know Travis Kelsey gets a lot of hate because of the T-Swift stuff, but he's not better than Gonzalez or Gronk. I mean, you could argue because of Gronk's injuries, you could argue the longevity that Kelsey has had, but nobody beats Gronk's peak. And if anybody's going to beat Gronk for the greatest of all time, it's Gonzalez at tight end. So that's.
Steve Hutchinson was better than Alan Faneca and Zach Martin.
I agree with that.
Steve Hutchinson,
I think he's better than Zach Martin. Zach Martin, but I think Alan Faneca is a.
I think they're in the same. I think Hutchinson and Faneca are in the same tier.
Yeah, I'm taking.
I think they're in the same tier, but he's better than Zach Martin.
Because y'all noticed something. The minute that Steve Hutchinson left, although they had Walter Jones, their production for Sean Alexander went straight downhill.
Yeah. Yeah, the wide receivers, the offensive line, except for the Hutchinson thing, I'd put Hutchinson at first team for offense. I would flip Manning and Mahomes as well. That's a topic that I actually want to bring up next week about Mahomes is the revisionist takes on Mahomes' legacy since the Super Bowl. That's a topic that I want, but we'll save that for next week. As for defense,
hold on, I'm putting the defense. I'm bringing up the defense right now.
Okay. Oh, good. I was hoping we talk defense. All right.
Let me magnify the image a little
Let's see. First team: Julius Peppers, J.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, Ray Lewis, Bobby Wagner, Darrell Reeves, Charles Woodson, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu. I do not have a problem with that first team defense at all. Don't have a problem. I don't have any issues.
I'm taking Warren Sapp over Chris Jones, bro. I'm taking Warren Sapp over Chris Jones.
Oh yeah, and I'm
taking. Warren Sapp didn't peak in the 2000 like Chris Jones has. I can stick with that.
No, dude, he was part of that 02 Bucks team.
The 02 Bucks, yeah.
I understand, but I'm still but you talking about part of a unit. I'm talking about as an individual.
And I'm talking
about as an individual.
I'm putting Strahan on first team instead of Myles Garrett.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I do have one problem with this list. Why is Ndamukong Suh on this list?
Why is he not? Why is he?
Why is he on this list?
Give me some.
Ndamukong Suh should be on this list. He should be at least 13. Oh, no. And Ndamukong Suh should be on him at least third. I'm with that.
All right.
I'm with that.
All right.
Nope.
I'm winning Ndamukong Suh. I mean, yeah, he was a dirty player, but at his peak, he was nasty.
Nope. I'll take somebody over him. Why is Vince Wilfork not on the third team?
Thank you.
No. Get Sue out of there. No.
Thank you.
I'm not taking Sue out. I'm not taking Sue out.
Over Vince Wilfork?
Oh, Vince Wilfork. That's Vince Wilfork.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that, but I'm still. But this is when I look at lists like this, I look at sheer production. I get what Vince Wilfork meant to the New England Patriots. I get that, but I'm looking at sheer production. I'm not taking Sue off.
You're looking at two different types of tackles. You're looking at
the thing is, you couldn't run. You cannot run on that damn New England Patriots defense because of Vince Wilfork and Richard Seymour at their peak. You could not.
The other part is you have to, again, like Vince was a 3-4 nose and Sue was a 3 technique. So that's completely 2 different production things that you're looking at.
But can you imagine Vince Wilfork in the 3 technique when if he was in the 4-3?
Oh, he could have.
He could have done it. Yeah,
they called him.
They could have done it
for a reason.
They called him baby step for a reason.
So,
Dwayne got a question. You think Sean Taylor should be on this list?
No.
Okay.
Didn't play long enough, unfortunately.
No, I love Sean
Didn't play
Taylor.
long enough.
I had one of the biggest hot takes when the Packers had the draft. When Sean Taylor was in that draft, I said the Packers should trade all their draft picks for Sean Taylor. That's how much I love Sean Taylor. And you look back at that Packer draft class, they should have done it because they busted on all their draft picks. But look, Sean Taylor did not play long enough. This is the I'm going to say it. This is the we are elevating somebody because of a tragedy, and it just is what it is. I'm sorry. It just.
Okay. I'm looking at the defenses here. Okay, let's see. Let me look at the linebackers. Ray and Bobby first team. Urlacher, Kuechly second team.
If we're talking
Brooks Willis third team.
If we're talking peak, I think you put Kuechly over Wagner.
Kuechly over Wagner, I probably would too. I would probably put Kuechly over Wagner.
It should be Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher on their first team.
I'm taking Luke Kuechly over Brian Urlacher.
What?
I'm taking Luke Kuechly over Brian Urlacher.
I think it's an argument. I think you have a 3-way argument for the second team or the first team inside linebacker.
And the reason why no, go ahead, Flash. I'm sorry.
I think it's an argument between Urlacher, Kuechly, and Patrick Willis. I don't like the fact that there's only 2 linebackers on each lineup.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too. I don't like that either.
Because honestly, like if you look at Derek Brooks, Derek Brooks is the greatest cover 2 outside linebacker ever.
Exit right.
Yeah, him and Andy Russell.
Yeah, so if I'm like, let's say because they have 5 defensive linemen on this for each team. And I don't get that. Oh, they have edge rushers. See,
gosh, I got a bit of a hot take about the third team defense.
What's up?
I'm taking John Lynch off. And I'm putting Cam Chancellor on it.
No.
Ain't no way.
No. I'm saying.
I don't even think. No, I don't even. If you're going to replace anybody, you're gonna replace the Honey Badger on there. I don't even know why he's on there. Dude's not that good.
Yeah. I could see that.
John Lynch is a Hall of Famer. Honey Badger,
I know.
Honey Badger isn't even like he. What does he have? Maybe 1 All-Pro.
To be honest with you,
if anybody gets to be out of what? Oh, Earl Thomas is on there. Okay, never mind. Go ahead, champ.
All right, I'm about to say Earl Thomas is on there. Yeah, he's second team.
Earl Thomas is on there, but I'm gonna just be real. One of the most lost safeties in the early 2000s that was right up there was Roy Williams.
All right, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Roy was good.
I'm gonna say.
But go ahead.
He's kind of the Bill Cosby of the NFL. So you have to separate the off-field stuff.
No. I know you're finna say no.
He's better
I can see it, but I know who you're gonna say, but I can see it. I know you finna say.
Darren Sharper.
Yep, I know you finna say.
He's better than Honey Badger.
He's better than the Honey Badger.
I agree. He is better. He is better. I agree with that.
Yeah, he is better. And to be honest with you, you can take him over John Lynch. It's just because of the case that he's not on there.
Oh, exactly.
Wait, do you think
And I got another name who I felt like peaked higher, even though he didn't have a long career. He peaked like super duper high. Eric Berry.
Yeah.
Because before the Hodgkin's lymphoma, you couldn't tell me Eric Berry wasn't the best safety in football, or at least in the conversation.
I'm looking real quick because
Why is Rodney Harrison not on this list?
Let's see.
I'm not a big fan of Rodney.
Because to be honest, who you gonna take out for Rodney though? Who you gonna take out for? The only one you could probably take out is Tyrann Mathieu.
That's what I was about to say.
You could take him off for Tyrann Mathieu, but I would take Eric Berry in terms of peak over Rodney Harrison in this century.
I'm still
Eric Weddle.
Look. Wait a minute.
Yeah, Eric Weddle deserved to be in the conversation.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a little bit. I'm gonna go back to the regular one. But why are we taking Luke Kuechly over Brian Urlacher?
Because he was better. Because he was a better coverage linebacker than Brian Urlacher for one.
Ooh.
And he was a better coverage linebacker than Brian Urlacher for one. And I also feel like in terms of his control of the defense and being able to get his guys in spots and being his ability to control it, bro. Luke Kuechly was just another level IQ wise too. That's why I'm taking Kuechly over Urlacher.
I completely 100% disagree with your first statement. Urlacher played safety in college. Like he is the prototypical coverage linebacker. What?
Okay, that was college, but still, okay.
If I'm picking 3 linebackers for the first team, it's Ray Lewis is the obvious one.
Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher is on that first team. I would take on that second team. I would put Patrick Willis and Luke Kuechly on that second team, and then that third team, I would put Brooks and Bobby Ragnar on there. Because the thing is, during his peak, as far as as how great he was, Patrick Willis was put in the same echelon with Ray Lewis. He was put in the same echelon.
Yeah, he was, and deservedly so too.
Patrick Willis was not that damn tall neither. He was only 5'11" at best.
Patrick Willis could just run with wide receivers. That's what separated him from a lot of linebackers.
He was a wild man, and he retired early. Still made the Hall of Fame.
I mean, they better have put him in the Hall of Fame. He had a Hall of Fame career.
I swear, this dude was tired when he had at least 10 more years to play. I'm thinking this dude was gonna play forever.
He only played 7 years.
Exactly, 7 years.
And he was a five-time first team All-Pro out of 7 years he was in the league.
Exactly. And then they had look, I'm gonna just be real. I think we had this discussion between us, one of the first shows that we had together, I was saying, when the Peanut Gallery was, we were just bringing randoms. But I really think that, remember when we had a discussion of whether we would take the Dome Patrol or that San Francisco linebacking core? That was actually a discussion.
Oh, you had Navarro Bowman, you had Patrick Willis, like that was a squad.
Alden Smith.
Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna have to sign out for a little bit. I'll be back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was we'll let BRF, he'll rejoin us momentarily. But yeah, that was something impromptu. Like I stated, I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen on here. But yeah, that was something impromptu. That was not planned. So I go across my screen. But yeah, I had to share that at this point because, as we all know, we're getting into that pigskin. I think they got special teams right on the money.
You can't. It'd be really hard to mess with. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Dante. I mean, you're just putting. It's kind of the only silly thing that I see is basically on like the first team, Dante Hall and Devin Hester are kick returner and punt returner, and then on the third team, it's the same guys. They're just flipped.
Yeah, that's all that was what they really had. But yeah, that was
like I would have put, if I'm putting anybody like you can't be on there twice. That's stupid. Just put kick returner, like in general, not just punt. Like that's just stupid. That's lazy because you had Jacoby Jones, who was a great punt returner, should be on there. And who was the kid for the Browns?
Muhammad Massaquoi from Georgia.
Not that one. No, with the long dreads.
I thought that was Muhammad Massaquoi.
No, number 16. Fudge my nuck. Let's see. Browns kick returner. Number 16.
Now the unanimous players, while you're getting
Josh Cribbs.
Josh Cribbs, yeah.
Yeah.
Now the unanimous first team was Tom Brady, Joe Thomas, Jason Kelsey, Aaron Donald, Ray Lewis, Darrell Revis, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu, Shane, and Devin Hester. Those were the unanimous. But I probably should have saved this until next week during the football show, but
That's
you
okay.
got to strike while the iron is hot. This just came across my timeline. I'm like, look, I got to share this with my guys as we move into segue into the season. So as we wait on BRF to come back, can you insert a player of the 2020s outside of Aaron Donald into this list outside of Bobby Wagner? Like, can you name a player that you could kind of insert into this list?
That could, like, you could make an argument that he should be or will be.
Will be, or should be.
Ooh. Let me look real quick.
I think I'm just going to be real. I think it's a little bit early on Myles Garrett.
I think so too.
I think it's a little early on Myles Garrett.
I'd say the you could sneak in possibly TJ Watt.
Yes, that was my sentiments exactly.
I
think Khalil Mack got in where he fit in on this list.
Yeah. I mean, there are guys, if they keep going, like Justin Jefferson could sneak in on the third team.
That first list, they got on the first team on the offense, they got Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, and Larry Fitzgerald.
I think 3 quarterbacks could sneak in on the third team at some point. I think that would be Josh Allen if
he wins a bowl.
Yeah, I think Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, but they got to win. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I'm thinking of guys like, I'm taking McCoy off and I'm putting. Why is there only one running back on the third team?
I don't have a clue.
Who made this fucking list? So they only got one running back on the third team.
And the first team.
No, they only got one running back on the first team. And they have Larry Fitzgerald listed as a running back.
Yes, big ass typo. Thank you, Sports Illustrated.
Oh boy. Because to me, the first team running backs should probably be Tomlinson and Peterson. And then to me, the second team would be Falk and Henry. And then your third team would be best running backs of the 2000s.
Steven Jackson.
man. Priest Holmes?
Yes. I would take him over LaShawn McCoy.
His peak?
Yes. Over LaShawn McCoy.
What about Frank Gore?
I can't give him longevity. I don't understand why people hold his longevity against him, but always give everybody their flowers for theirs. I don't get it.
Priest Holmes' peak was
Priest Holmes should have been on the all quarter century team.
Yeah, those are, I'd say, Marshawn Lynch.
No, I think you take out LaShawn McCoy, put in Priest Holmes, because Priest Holmes, for 3 straight years, I don't think any running back for those 3 years outside of, I would say, Eric Dickerson, had a better peak than those 3 years. Those 3 years, he was just one of the greatest of all time. He was making his argument for the greatest of all time.
You could argue Terrell Davis too.
Well, no, he was in the 90s.
No, I'm just saying you're saying like a short
the 3-year peak. Okay, yeah,
I'm saying like just that peak randomly.
Yeah, I call it the Gale Sayers type peak. So yeah.
Not that his peak was better than Priest Holmes, but Amon Green's career in Green Bay was like there was like a 2-3 year span too where he was
legendary.
Yeah. So
Amon Green, the only thing they had a knock against him was the fumbles. Which, if you really go back and look into it, he fumbled about as much as the next man. Remember, Eric Dixon fumbled 12 times in a season once.
Yeah.
And then people don't understand Adrian Peterson, he had a fumbling problem.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah. So people hold on.
There was a, let's see, from 2000 to 2006, he had over 1,000 yards every year except for 05 because he was injured. But he was 1,100, 1,300, another 1,300, 1,800. That year he had 1,800 yards. He had a 5.3 yard average, 1,800 yards, 15 touchdowns. Like, that dude was legit. Like that, yeah. That early 2000s Packers running game was something else. Jamal Lewis is another guy you could throw in there, maybe.
Corey Dillon.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say, because if we're going to put 2 running backs each team, it would be Tomlinson, Peterson. And Peterson just inches out Marshall Faulk, by the way, in my opinion.
Right.
Like, I think there's a decent argument on who's better, Peterson or Faulk. That's just me. But then you have Faulk, Derrick Henry for the 2 running backs on the second team, and in the third team, I think you put Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander, just because he won an MVP.
Yeah, he won the MVP.
Yeah,
I said it earlier. When Steve Hutchinson left, you saw the difference between his running.
Yeah,
I don't know why he did that. I'd have took a pay cut to keep Steve Hutchinson there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'd say third team running backs would probably be like Priest. You could say Priest Holmes and Frank Gore, maybe. I'd go with that. I go with Priest Holmes and Frank Gore, or Priest Holmes and Marshawn Lynch. Those would be the 2. That would be Marshawn Lynch would be. He's got to be in there too. But the rest, I think the lines, except for what we talked about, I think Hutchinson on the first team makes sense over Zach Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas and Ogden are absolutely Faneca. I completely agree. Kelsey's a no-brainer. Jason Kelsey. There's nobody, though, that's currently playing right now that I think should be on this list. that I would put there on. I think there's potential for guys to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
But the only guy would be the couple that I mentioned, and that was pretty much about it. Other than that, I think this is a pretty solid. Because you're looking at you look at the wide receivers on this. You look at Moss, Calvin Johnson, Terrell Owens, Julio Jones, Antonio Brown, and Marvin Harrison. Those are all top tier Hall of Famers, not borderline Hall of Famers, top tier Hall of Famers.
Yes,
that's the golden era of the wide receiver right there. And I don't there's nobody. I don't care how good Justin Jefferson may get. I don't think the only person that I could argue maybe that he could maybe get over would be Julio. And that's the only reason because he just screwed everybody in fantasy when it came to touchdowns. But other than that,
Julio was allergic to the end zone, but people don't understand.
He wasn't allergic to the end zone. He kept getting double and triple covered in the end zone, and Matt Ryan was smart enough not to force it to him.
But that's my point, though. Even that's a real slim, silly argument. I'm just making something up because I actually think wide receiver would be, and then running back would be the two. Here's what's messed up. I think it would be easier to crack the three, well, not Brady's spot, but the second team and third team quarterbacks than it would be to get into a wide receiver spot on any.
But me personally, I think they got him over. I think they got him. I guess. I think they got. Like I said, Peyton should be 2. Patrick Mahomes, I'm cool with 3, but because how deep you got to go? You got to let's say Breeze, Rodgers, who else? In terms of just honestly, I think in terms of this decade, Breeze and Rodgers are probably the only other 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could argue peak Rodgers is better than peak Mahomes. Real easy.
From a talent perspective, you can make that argument. From a talent perspective,
yeah. Dude, there was a point in 2010 to 2015.
They was making he was on Tom Brady's ass.
You could argue that nobody played the quarterback position better than Aaron Rodgers. I know everybody thinks he's an acid smoking a-hole now, but everybody forgets that dude
he was that guy.
Yeah, everybody's this is what I hate about a lot of people. When Mahomes started playing, oh, we've never seen anything like that. Bro, we got Aaron Rodgers. We have Aaron Rodgers. It's not like we've never seen this shit before. Come on.
No, the thing is, it's recency bias. And look, I think it was Will Chamberlain or somebody. They always, when you get past a certain point in football or basketball, they stop showing footage past a certain year. When we got to the 2000s, they stopped showing footage past 1990 and when it came to the NBA. Because if you wouldn't saw it, you would see Wilt Chamberlain doing fadeaways like he was Dirk Nowitzki back in 72.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a lot of recency bias. And people always talk about – and people did the same thing when we saw – we've never seen anything like that. We saw Dan Marino. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We saw Dan Marino. He had the quickest release arguably we've ever seen. And he wasn't that mobile. He couldn't even run.
No.
He couldn't even run. And so, you had the back. I mean, he stood in that pocket until it collapsed. And he had such a quick release that it was just boom. I mean, it was crazy. I had to drop that on y'all this week, man. I couldn't wait the next week because, we got to strike while the iron's hot. And I didn't want nobody to beat us to the punch, Kind of
I like that. That was good. That was good.
I didn't want everybody to beat us to the punch. So I want us to be first. So
that was good.
You saw it here first on the Undisputed GOAT podcast. Click that like and subscribe button. But I love the way that Sports Illustrated came out with the all quarter century team, man. Ray Lewis, a lot of those guys. I gotta ask y'all this. Look, I know football ain't till next week. We got to get into the WNBA. We got to talk about the W. But did we experience the last 30 years another golden era of football? The last 25 years. I know we had the fortunes to grow up in the 90s. In your case, Flash, no offense, you had the fortune to grow up a little bit in the 80s. So what's this, the next greatest?
You just age shame me? How dare you?
Was
I mean,
this
you are the oldest one here.
was this the last?
And I'm damn proud of it.
Was
Oh
this,
hell, it ain't. But I'm 40 in November. It's only like a couple of years. It ain't that big a deal.
was this like another the last 25 years? Was this another golden era in football? Can this generation of youth, of old heads, of men, women, children, can this generation that's like 25 and under be able to look back at these last 25 years and say, I grew up in the golden era, and really be telling the truth?
I think this is the greatest. I think this is the greatest era of football ever. The last 25 years. I do.
I go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think it's the greatest era, just from a when you look at each position, just the sheer raw talent and the sheer raw depth at each position. Like it's like quarterback, wide, like really on position. I think they could. If this generation was to say I grew up in the greatest era of football, I would be like, hey, I can't argue it. I can't argue it. So I think it is.
I will say is I since 1990, so it'd be 34 years. I don't think we'll ever see, and I would actually cut it off with the retirement of Brady and Breeze.
Okay.
We will never. So I'd say it's like 32 years or whatever it is.
Okay.
And I even throw it back to 88. So 88 to 2022. Okay. That's 34 years still.
34 years.
I don't think we'll ever see better football at the quarterback position or in general in those 34 years ever in the league ever again. Because in 88, 89, you had peak Joe Montana. You still had Marino in his prime. You still had Elway. You had Jim Kelly, which led into Steve Young, Brett Favre, Troy Aikman, and that Steve McNair led into Peyton Manning, led into Tom Brady, led into Roethlisberger, Eli. I mean, I still maintain that we will never see none of the quarterbacks. The only quarterback, I don't think, when you were gone, BRF, Champ asked if anybody playing now could crack into this all-century team. And I mentioned a couple names. Like I said, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Burrow, but they would have to win a lot to crack into the quarterback spot. I don't think I don't think any of these quarterbacks that are playing now besides Mahomes sniffs that era of quarterbacks' panties, and I don't even think it's close.
I agree with that. I think the current crop of players currently right now, I agree. I don't think there's anybody really at any position at this point in time that can crack either team right now. I agree.
No, I am so thankful that I got to grow up and I got to see from Joe Montana to the end of Tom Brady's career and every quarterback in between there. I got to experience Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning, not only on TV, but I got to see it live once in Foxborough. So, yeah, and I want to throw in there just the quarterback position in general. We got games like Vince Young versus USC, Deshaun Watson versus Alabama. Like we had individual games that will go down as some of the greatest individual performances by a quarterback, even in college, ever. And so I am so like when I get up to the gates of heaven and whether Jesus Christ lets me in or not, the one thing I'm going to thank him for on a completely superficial level is thank you for having me born during the greatest era of football ever.
Is it safe to say? And then we got to move on to the W. We got to cover the W. I have to ask this. We are pushing that age around our 40s. So I'm 37, BRF, y'all in y'all 30s, early 40s. Is it safe to say that the last 40 years is the greatest 40 years that we're ever going to see in sports ever?
Yes.
Because we got to see. No, hear me out on this. We got to see Bird and Magic. We got to see Wayne Gretzky. We got to see Michael Jordan. We got to see, and I hate to say this, I hate this with all my being. I hate to say this. We got to see one of the greatest dynasties in baseball ever with them damn New York Yankees. We got to see a team in our Atlanta Braves who broke through finally.
But I'm about to say, champ, you have to put even though they only won world championship, you have to put the Atlanta Braves in that conversation just off of sheer dominance alone. The only thing they're missing is titles. You have to put them in that convo.
Yeah, who broke through finally. You got a chance to see the Cowboys dynasty. You got a chance to see Shaq and Kobe. You got a chance to see Alex Ovechkin. You got a chance to see some of the best quarterbacks. Dude, I think this is the best quarterback ever. And I'm not being biased. I grew up in an era of Brett Favre, Troy Aikman, Steve Young. I think that this era of quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, the GOAT, the Tom Brady, Drew Brees, those guys, I think they cleared the last era. I think they cleared.
You talk about sports in general. I mean, you're just talking about the main four, but look at we saw possibly, arguably the greatest era of heavyweight boxing of all time when it came to Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, and that era,
Michael Moore.
Yeah,
you got back end of his career, George Foreman still winning heavyweight titles.
Yeah, you got, not to mention we got to witness the rise of the UFC and how that went from basically they were never going to get a fighting license because it was looked at as barbaric. I guess I'm that old. I
remember that.
It's to now it's it's, in my opinion, it doesn't get the dollars that top flight boxing matches do, of course, but comparably depth-wise, the UFC is a more respected fighting sport than boxing is now. That's unfortunate because I love boxing, but I also love the UFC. We got to see the rise of not only just that, but the highlight shows, Sports Center and ESPN. Now everybody makes fun of ESPN now and how trash they are, but ESPN late 80s, early and into the 90s was peak pop culture. We witnessed sports become more of a pop culture phenomenon, not only in the United States but worldwide. And that's on every sport. We saw it. We saw the world integrate. Look at the Europeans coming over to the United States to play in the NBA. We get to see so many things in this era that are we will never see again. One, because I think we are on the cusp of possibly a lot of professional sports and college sports blending and being ruined as we know it. That's a hot take for later on, though. I am beyond blessed that I got to live during this era.
Let's stick to football real quick. We're going to cover the W no matter what, but let's stick to football at this point. Now, as you all know that recently a certain team has been getting a lot of press. Our guy, Sports PSP, he's a Washington Commanders fan. He's a big-time Washington Commanders fan. And President Trump, now this is not a political show. Let's let the audience know that right off rip, but he did have something to say about the Washington Commanders changing it back to the original name. So I'm not going to say the name. We all know what it is. So BRF, he'll join us.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
He'll join us back in a few minutes. What do you think about? First, we're going to cover because he had two very, very interesting takes. President Trump did. He had a take on NIL, which he was trying to cap it at a certain point. We had a discussion about that off the record, and he had a discussion about the Washington Commander. Just gonna say it, changing their name back to the Washington Redskins, or else he may block the stadium deal that they have to come back into Washington, D.C. Do y'all think, based upon the legacy, because the thing is, and this is not something that I'm just making up and pulling out of my behind, you have a lot of Native American groups saying that they want the name back. You have the Blackfeet Chief, his family, you know, the mascot for the Washington Commanders at this moment. His family has already came out to Fox News and some of the other news stations and stated that they want their ancestor back on the field in order to educate the modern American fans how the name's not offensive and how we take pride in that. And not only that, he also wants them to change the Cleveland Guardians name back to the old name as well.
Yep.
So what are your thoughts? We'll start off with you, Flash.
So we touched on this like a year ago, I think, because it came up with the Commanders Redskins name. And I think you asked my opinion on it. And I've been all for bringing the Redskins name back. And here's how I look at it. But besides all the fact that the family wants it, and there's a lot of tribes that do want to bring it back, my opinion, and I looked at it this way, on a non-sports level. One, I think kind of what Trump is doing right now, that's kind of that's neither here nor there. By getting rid of the Redskins, the thing is this is the slippery thing that we get into. It's like Native Americans had representation. By eliminating what we think is offensive these days, because it's you can argue that the Indians logo, the old school one, is a caricature and like offensive, but the Redskins logo was not offensive at all. It's a representation of their culture. And once you eliminate stuff like that, now you are taking away representation and eliminating culture from visibility. And I think that that's wrong. On top of it, if you look at what was talked about on Pat McAfee's show, kind of tackled this a little bit today, and they talked about it. And when he went to a couple Commanders games, and nobody wears Commanders gear.
Really?
Nobody does.
Nobody.
Not a lot. And I think the fans want it back. It's a generational team. That team's been around. That was that's one of the old school teams. Like, I don't know. I think the Indians won. Yeah, I'm less on bringing back the Indians one than I am about the Redskins. I'm 100% on bringing back the Redskins name. I think it should be done. I don't like what Trump is doing to do it. I think it should be it should be the family and the fans decide.
Yeah.
I think that's what it should be. And either way, then the topic should be done. If the family is for it and the fans want it back, bring it back. And anybody that cries about it, it's okay to tell people to go away and say no. That's okay to do that in today's society. Okay. I personally think I would love to see on a Thanksgiving Day another Cowboys and Redskins game. I want to see the old school logo. I love the old school logo. I love the old school. Even I love the Sonny Jurgensen one with just the arrow. Like that, it's such a boring, on top of it, just aesthetically looking, it's such a great uniform in general. In my opinion, just in that aspect, they should bring it back. So, but that's me. I think Native American culture should be. Here's the thing: football is known as a war sport, Native American culture, whether you want to talk about it or not, like that warrior mentality, that being a warrior, like that's representation that I think Native American tribes, the ones that are left, want representation to see that. And now, again, you're taking away that representation now. And now you have no visibility to those cultures. So that's my opinion.
Let me tackle this, BR. The main reason why I think that here's my thing. I think that in the first place, they were trying to, I really think that was a ploy. It was a coup, to be honest with you. I agree that certain tribes have come out and say they're offended by the logo. Certain tribes have. They did a 60 Minutes on there. One tribe did come out and say, I'm offended by it. And, one guy really got onto his son for wearing that. Because his son was a big Washington Commanders fan, back when they had the old logo. That, he broke it down to his son about how offensive that he thought it was. But I believe this. A lot of that, them wanting to strip the name, the old school name, I believe was them wanting to get Dan Snyder the hell out of there and them using every means in order to get him out. And what better way to get him out of the picture than to say, well, this name is offensive. If you're not going to change the name, then you need to get out. And then, he did probably the dumbest damn move I ever seen an owner do in the history of the league. That's how come he's no longer an owner anymore. And changed the name to the Washington football team.
I think he did that on purpose to screw the franchise and when he sold it.
So
the thing I look at it, the other thing too is we were in that era right now at that point where everything was offensive, and it was very much not the infancy of social media, but during that rise of when you just see groundswells of people getting offended by something. And at that time, not a lot of people were afraid to say no. And I think because I remember they tried to get rid of the Braves.
I would have been mad as hell.
Yeah, the logo they tried to get rid of. Then it was the Chiefs. Then they started to go. Then they tried to get rid of the Florida State Seminoles mascot. Like that stuff was starting to get attacked. That like everybody and like the only two that changed were the Indians and the Redskins, and everybody else kind of just like it. Kind of everybody, all the other teams kind of like. I think Florida State came out and said, yeah, like, screw off. I think the Seminole tribe was like.
Yeah, the Seminole tribe came out and said something.
They were like, absolutely not.
But we don't do the chop no more at the stadium, I don't think.
The Braves?
We don't do the chop anymore, do we?
Oh, yeah.
They still pull it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they still do it. Yeah, they still do it.
The Braves do.
We don't do it as frequent as we used to.
It's not as frequent, but they still do it.
They pull it out. I know the Chiefs do it still, and why is that offensive? Why?
I don't know. Like I said, I am a little bit more. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That's how come I have you two guys here. I'm very safe. I'm real damn safe. I don't want to look. I don't want to piss nobody off. Damn, you coming after me? I don't want that smoke. I know you, Flash. You don't buy it. So I'm like, you know what? You go over there and leave me to help. If you want me to change the name, I'll change it. Just leave me alone. So that's just how I am. I'm safe. I'm real safe. All right, you think it's offensive? Okay, get rid of it.
What do you think, BRF?
If they're gonna change it, it should only be solely because families want it. Trump need to stay his ass out of it. He need to stay out. He need to stay out of the Washington. He need to stay out of the Washington franchise business. He need to stay out of the NIL business. He need to stay out of all that. If you be the president, stay out of sports stuff. It should only be because, like I said, like the fans should decide it. Like they should have like a vote. The fans, the team, or not that town, that city should decide that. He needs to stay out of it. Don't try to bully them into something. Stay out of it. Let them handle it.
I don't like the getting involved. This is okay. I'm going to say I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate here. This isn't the first time that presidents and or Congress has gotten involved in sports. Let's not pretend that like this is a unique thing.
They never. I know, but they should have. They never need to do it in the first place. I think it's crazy. We've even had instances of it.
I agree. That's where I agree. I'm just trying to point out that this isn't a unique situation.
I know it's not a need. I know it's not unique. You just need to stay out of it.
But the thing,
In
I
fairness,
don't want him. What?
Real quick, in fairness, Flash, real quick, I don't blame them one damn bit for getting involved with baseball. I'm just gonna be real. Reform had to be made. I don't blame them for
Right.
that. Because
we're like, look at it now. Look at how we all look at it now. Now we go back to that era.
bring back steroids.
And now we don't care. I was like,
bring back steroids.
Like nobody cares. Everybody's like, put Bonds in the Hall of Fame. We don't give a crap.
Put
like,
Bonds in, put Clemens, A-Rod, put them in.
Yeah,
if they played in the air and they succeeded, put them in.
The only thing that I semi understand, like if we didn't have everything else going on right now that's going on, it is him butting his nose into the NIL thing. I think that's a bigger thing. I think that's something that, because that involves collective bargaining. That involves like that's on a whole different scale than just a name change. Like a name change is stupid. Like I mean, again, if we were like, if our economy was doing great, we didn't have all the other bullshit going on right now, and Trump said something like that about the Commanders Redskins name, I'd be like, all right, whatever. But the NIL stuff, I that's one where, not the steroids, but I do think that the government, even though I hate government and I'm not big on government involvement in almost anything, because 9 times out of 10 they screw it up. Something needs to be done about the NIL thing. It's a problem, and it's going to get to be a bigger problem if it keeps going. So that's,
if it keeps going, can you see? You know what? I'm gonna ask y'all this, and this is something that I've been waiting, like really, really waiting to ask y'all. Do you think that at one point, if they don't get a hold of it, it's going to get out of control when a kid comes in from high school or whatever and asks a program for $20 million?
We about there.
Yeah.
No, because I think because Sador got 10. I think Sador got 10. But I mean, I think it's going to reach a peak when somebody comes in and asks for $20 million. And I think it should have really, I think the NC2A and NIL should have really blown the whistle when the Nico situation happened, when he was really just shopping himself around from, Tennessee to UCLA, where he ended up playing himself out of almost $2 million.
Yeah. You will see the death if it's left unfettered and to just do whatever it is. If it's not put in check, we will see the death of college sports and the death of pro sports as we know it, especially the major 3, because then there's going to be no difference between college and pros. There will be no difference, because if you look at the situation now with the Bengals' first-round draft pick, okay, let's say I don't think he's actually going back to Texas A&M. I don't even think he can do it.
No, he can't.
He's signed with an agent. He can't go back anywhere.
But he could sue to go back, because now and here's the reason. Here's the thing: he could sue to go back, and he's got a legit case, because now Texas A&M or whatever university, they're paying him. He's an employee. So again, we're blurring the lines between. This is why I was always hesitant about paying players. I get it. But again, be careful what you wish for. Everybody, this is what we do as a country. We go, this is a great idea. And then people go like, well, this might happen. And people are like, no, you butthole, don't say that. You're a terrible person for asking even questions. And then we get there and this thing happens. And now everybody's like, well, wait a minute. This isn't what I signed up for.
I think that's the country in a microcosm, but
it is.
But I digress.
It's what we do.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right. It's what we do with everything. I'm not going to get into any social political stuff right now, but we do this with everything. We go like, progress, yay! And then we do the progress, and everybody's like, well, wait a minute, this sucks. And I'm like, well, I just think that I think the NL thing. I think the NIL thing is a bigger thing to tackle right now, like something that needs to be. It doesn't need to be by the government, but just in general, than the Redskins commander's name. Like that's neither here nor there. Like I think the Redskins name should come back, yes, but like that's not going to change the scope of sports as we see it. The NIL thing very much well could, and not in a good way either.
Be all right.
I think, all right, I have an analogy here about the whole. Hey, what's good? What's going on with your leave? I have a little analogy here about the whole NIL situation and what I feel it could ultimately turn into, because this is 100,000 million whatever percent on the NCAA from past and present transgressions. I hold them solely responsible because this could have been fixed a long time ago. What I think this could ultimately happen is the NCAA. All right, it's like if you're a parent and you get into this situation where your kid go to college and he's doing this thing, but then he starts getting in trouble and he starts doing crazy stuff, and the parents ultimately have to come and bail him out. And I feel like this is ultimately what could happen with the NCAA, and if the federal government gets involved, because the NCAA could be like, you know what? They could just act like, oh man, we don't know what to do. We're going to put our hands back. And then the government just comes in and cleans everything up because the NCAA don't want to get their hands dirty. I feel like this could ultimately be the case in this, because it's almost like I feel like absolving the NCAA from true accountability much like baseball. Yeah, I feel like you're absolving them from accountability again because it's somebody else fixing their mess up. So that's what I feel like could really happen with NIL and stuff like that. I feel like the NCAA just needs to do a better job of policing it, of actually talking to people, using their resources. It's not like the NCAA doesn't have ample resources at their hands in the first place. Use their resources to kind of dig in, do real research, and understand what's the best route of action to go in order to control this entire situation. Because, like I said, I hold the NCAA solely responsible for this. Now, not solely, because you do have to look at the college athletes, because some of them are asking for too much. I mean, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. They're asking way more than what they're really worth. But this goes right back to the NCAA not handling this a long time ago.
But the thing is, you can ask for some stuff, but your behind can be told no.
That's where I hold the NCAA involved. Y'all, come on, man. Y'all gotta be smart about some of this stuff.
I'm just gonna say this, and I might get a lot of flack for it, but I just want to go back to the way it was, where players were ignorance was bliss. I want to go back to the way it was. I just do. I think this is stupid. I think we've opened Pandora's box, and I think we're going. Look. We all know that players are getting paid by boosters and shit like that. I get it, but like, honestly, what they should do is colleges shouldn't pay them at all. What they should have just done, and this is the thing that I said back in the day when this whole argument was going on before they actually, is I don't think the colleges should pay them. But I don't think the players should be punished for signing autographs and selling their autographs and stuff like that, and their likeness. Having colleges pay the players, you opened a Pandora's box that now is a fucking clusterfuck, and now you might ruin what like the foundation of college sports and sports in general. All they had to do was be like, look, if you sell some jerseys, like you get that. Like, we can't make money off of your jersey. We'll give you a portion of your jersey, but we're not giving you salaries. The fuck is that? No. You want to do an autograph? You want to go to like Upper Deck and go do an autograph signing and get paid 10 grand for it? Sure, that's fine. That has no bearing on your playing ability. That's your likeness and your autograph and your signature. You can do it what you please. But no, we had to be like, nope, let's just instead of thinking about this, we just do things.
Again, I think they should have went. I remember the University of Miami had a fine idea back in the 80s where they just should have got paid a stipend.
Yeah, and it goes into like a trust fund or something.
And I don't mind, like I said, I don't mind them guys getting paid because I'm going to just be real. Look here. If Stephon Prime would have been a 5-star, you would have had to pay up, baby. But
I'm fine with making your money. I know you're getting paid under the table for the boosters. That's fine.
Yeah. But millions, I don't think they opened up Pandora's box, especially in Georgia. Kirby Smart got 24 wins in the last 3 years, and he got 26 arrests. So, I mean, they're becoming the new modern day version of the University of Miami. Just being real. So,
but this is where I go back to. This is on the NCAA, and it should have been fixed a long time ago, because it's the fact that these players would lose eligibility and wouldn't be able to play anymore just because of 2 autographs.
Yeah, or going out to dinner with somebody.
Or a simple dinner. They will lose their entire eligibility over that. This is why it comes back to the NCAA. This should have been handled a long time ago. That's why y'all are making good ideas with the ideas of like stipends here and there, as far as like autographs and stuff like that. If they were just giving them a little bit of money then without them getting in trouble and risking eligibility, we wouldn't be here.
No, but that's my point though. This is what we do as a society. We don't just do simple things. We just fucking throw shit at a wall and we go, fuck it, and just whatever. And we don't think things through. We just go like, it's like, again, you're right. BRF, you're absolutely right. If we just been like, you know what? It's really stupid that these players that lose eligibility for signing an autographed helmet and getting $30. That's really stupid. We should just get rid of that rule. No, we just had to throw out the baby with the fucking bathwater. Like, fucking it. Like they didn't even throw the baby out with the bathwater. They held the baby's fucking head on underwater, and it's just stupid.
I thought you was from up north. I ain't heard that shit. I thought you was from up north. They said that shit up north.
Yeah,
they threw out the baby in the bath.
That's why it ultimately goes back to the. That's why it ultimately goes back to the NCAA, which is why I feel like if the government gets involved and cleans this mess up, they can just pull their hands back and be like, you know what? Make the NCAA clean up their own damn mess. Keep government out of it. Make them clean up their own mess.
I do have an idea before we go into the W though, but I do want to have a discussion about this. You know, do you think that this is a ploy by the Fed in order to say, look, we don't want these kids to get too damn out of control for our liking? Because no, hear me out.
I'm listening.
The coaches, no, because the thing is, when you have, it's kind of damn different. I'm gonna just be real. It's kind of easy to control your ass when you're broke and you're a college kid.
No,
and you wait a minute. Just hear me out.
Yeah. Sorry.
And when you got your scholarship on the line a little bit, when something is on the line for you, it's easy to punish you. It's easier to hold you accountable. It's easy to say, hey, you keep fucking up and we're going to get you up out of here. Versus, hey, I'm going to fuck up and then I'm going to go to another school that's going to pay me more money than the last school did, even though I'm a fuck up. So do you think that it's a ploy in order to say, hey, we need to get these young kids under control? We don't mind you getting paid, but we need to get you under control before it gets too out of hand and put the power back in the coach's hands once again.
I hear what you're saying, and you definitely make good points. But where that kind of rubs me the wrong way was like back in those days, colleges would just be doing all this stuff as long as you keeping your mouth shut and you just playing on the field. The minute you do something wrong and tell about our wrongdoings, we just gonna throw you under the bus and we just keep it pushing. Because at the end of the day, who they gonna listen to? They're gonna listen to lonely old college player, they gonna listen to an institution.
That's a valid point.
But at the same time, though, again, we've seen this before. When you let the inmates run the asylum, it never goes well. And I don't think it's to rein anybody in. I don't think it's I just think. Again,
it's the NCAA's fault. They're even in this situation.
I just want to go back to the way it was. I know I'm the old guy, but I want to go back to like just wait, no, nobody's getting paid under the table. No,
you're not the only one that says that. My guy Ghost, shout out to Ghost. I don't know if you're watching this or not. My guy Ghost from TikTok, one of my day ones, he thinks it should go back to the way he played for Florida. He played for Florida. He was tight end in Florida. So, I mean, he played down there when Vernon Maxwell was down there. But, yeah, he said that he should go back the same way. He said, shit, 100. He said the thing is, I didn't need that much damn money in college. He said $100 handshake, that was what I needed in order to go to a frat party, get me a couple burgers for the damn weekend.
Yeah.
I didn't need $1 million.
You just need a beer money. You just need a beer money. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, some people will argue that much. Like, man, how much money do you need as a college guy? I think Norris, his dad, Norris, the college quarterback from South Carolina, his dad stopped him from going somewhere because they was going to get him $8 million. They was going to get him $8 million. And his dad said, hell no, you're not going there. He said, why are they going to give me $8 million? He said, how much damn money do you need in college?
Yeah.
You're in college. You're gonna make $8 million a year in college, and you're gonna go out there and fuck yourself up, and now you ain't gonna be able to play pro.
I just think I don't. I want to go back to the way it was.
Just take a realistic approach to it. It ain't necessarily got to go completely back to the way it was, but take a realistic approach.
The problem is though, now you can't rein in the money. You can't rein in. All of a sudden, you're going to go like, well, we're not paying players millions of dollars anymore. You could, we should, but does anybody have the balls to say like, nah, we're good?
Again, I don't mind you playing millions, but you got to put a cap on that shit. You got to put a cap on it because the thing is, if you
again, I still think I don't think they should get paid at all. If the players, I think the only thing is like if your jerseys sell. You get whatever portion of your jerseys, like a portion. And I think you should be able to make money like doing autograph signings and stuff like that. Shit like that. Or if somebody
should be able to Flash pretty much hit it on the head. That players should be able to make money off their likeness. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Like you don't have no problem with the endorsement, just the NIL money itself.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the endorsement. You go get your money on the side if you want to. Huh? You can do a side hustle.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, you don't need that much. You don't need a lot of money to really survive down there in college by the week. No. But at the same time, you gonna need money to survive in college during the week. So you got to get it from somewhere.
Well, yeah. Well, and the other part of it too is like I look at it this way. Like here's the other thing. We're like we want if you talk about like big money, then it's only going to be your Ohio States, your Alabamas, your Georgias, and stuff like that. And it now you might see a rise from like the Southern Methodists and Notre Dame. You're going to see that because of that. I'm just going to say it. That old white money going to come out all of a sudden.
That's your problem. He's not wrong, but he ain't wrong. But he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Am I wrong? No, I'm
not. He is not wrong at all. That Southern booster money goes miles.
Let's move on to the draft.
You know what I'm talking about. There's a reason
why.
he ain't wrong. Was all of a sudden good again.
He ain't wrong.
Shit. I mean.
Sometimes you got to tackle the topic by the horns, and you got to say what other people don't want to say. He ain't wrong.
I don't care. People get mad at me all they want. What are they going to do? What do they come do to me? What, they come to my doorstep? Try it. Like I don't care. Like, but that's the thing though. So you know,
Okay.
I don't know. Again, we can't do anything simple. We just can't. We just have to do. We just have to do everything stupid in this country. We can't just do some. We can't just make small changes. Again, we got to drown the baby in the bathwater. Like it's not even throwing them out of the bathwater. Like it's just like just it's so frustrating. But you're not going to be able to stuff like a genie back in the bottle, unfortunately. So they're going to have to do dumb, stupid changes, like put a cap on it or something. And then that's going to be. But here's the problem. So if now this is me just playing devil's advocate. Here's the thing: you put a cap on it. If let's say I'm the level of like I'm Livy Dunn, or I'm whatever the male or female that is making a shit ton of money with NIL. I'm gonna make a lawsuit. I'm gonna create a lawsuit. I'm gonna sue the NCAA and then sue the government and go, wait a minute, you're putting a cap on my worth? This is what I'm worth to the NCAA and or LSU or whatever, and you're saying I can't make more money off of my life? That's technically illegal.
Yeah, but they do the same thing in the NFL though.
They have a salary cap.
Yeah.
But you can pay Patrick Mahomes whatever you want.
Well, the salary, I always say this, and maybe I'm a little bit, maybe as a former police officer, I'm just going to put it out there, I'm a little bit too crooked. I think people are too crooked, I will say. I think everybody crooked to a certain extent.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to just be real. The money that they put on that damn paper, that's just what they giving you. That's what they telling the world they giving your ass.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's what they're
giving your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, look, I never forget this. Remember when the Denver Broncos got caught giving Terrell Davis $10 million in front of the table? Him and John Elway.
That's
they
like
the first round picks.
That's like the joke. Did you see when Peyton Manning did Tom Brady's New England Patriots Hall of Fame thing, and he told a story about him and Brady meeting down at like some college in Tennessee. And he took the Kraft private jet, and he was and Manny made a crack about it. He goes, "That's against salary cap rules. You can't do that. You can't use the Kraft private jet if you're Tom Brady. That's a perk. You're not allowed to do that." But again, we all know that shit happens.
Exactly. The thing is, look, people don't understand this. Like I said, I think everybody crooked as far as when you got some money, you kind of crooked. I'm just gonna be real. You kind of crooked. That's just the shit they giving to you on paper. This $1 million that they giving you, that's just the shit they giving you on paper. They ain't telling you about the car rides that Mr. Bilfton gave you, let you drive his BMW for the weekend, and introduced you to everybody in the country club and had breakfast every damn day in that mofo for free of charge, and then not to mention all the extracurricular activities that you might be doing. That's just the stuff they showing you on paper. They ain't showing you what that victory lap, what I like to call that victory lap, is like after that game. After you won.
Right. That's a great analogy. I like how you worded that. You are not joking.
Hey, I'm just being real. I'm a $1 million player in college. Picture this, and then we'll move on. Picture this. I am the starting running back for the Georgia Bulldogs. I got a $2 million NIL deal. I just went to Tuscaloosa and rushed for over 250 yards, and we have beaten Alabama by 2 touchdowns. I got a victory lap coming. I got a good victory lap coming.
That's a lot more than a victory lap.
That's a victory lap. When I get back to Athens, that's a victory lap for the ages. I'm talking about
that's a victory race, is what that is. That laps.
That's just the stuff that they're telling you on paper. They're not telling you, oh, the booster just left his car keys in my dorm, and now I'm driving his Rolls Royce around. They ain't telling you about all the free lunches. They ain't look, and that's just the big shit. They ain't telling you about
you're talking about just like, oh yeah, hey, we took your mom to the salon, we got her a perm, and we did her up real nice, all that kind of shit.
We got you a couple of autograph sessions set up on Wednesday at a couple of different sessions. We got you one at 12 and one at 2:30. Stuff like that.
And not even, and that's not even look. And that's just the big shit. That ain't including the damn free ass meals you probably getting every other day at these little local mom and pop shops. Every time you win a damn game, you go to the local Applebee's. I know Applebee's ain't popular no more. It was popular when we was young. You go to local Applebee's, they recognize who you is. Ain't everything on the house. You in there drinking.
Open bar.
Exactly. You out here just drinking and eating like hell. That's just the big shit. Everything on that paper, I'm just being real. That $1 million, that $2 million, that's just the shit they put on that paper. They ain't including everything else.
Oh, of course not. Exactly.
Your mama, let them find out my mama need a place to stay. Your mama got a house the next day. Remember what they did for Marcus Dupree? In order to get him to come, look, Marcus Dupree, the best there never was. I never forget. He asked, Barry Switzer asked his mom. Barry Switzer was one that asked his mom at one point, is there anything that we can do for you, Gail, in order to make you comfortable? And she said, I don't like the place that I live right about now. I just need a double wide trailer. She said 5 days later, that damn double wide showed up.
Yeah.
And that was back in the day. So, like I said, that's just, people don't understand this. People want to talk about the NIL money and how it's getting rampant and out of control. Like I said, that's just the shit they're putting to you on paper. That's not, because you can best believe, although these boosters are saying, hey, although everybody's saying in public, I will say we give these kids enough money. You can best believe Biff or John or whoever who is an alumni who's making billions of dollars on the stock market or in the oil field out there paying them damn players still like they work for them. Because I know if I was a Georgia graduate, I probably would too. Hey man, why don't you go ahead? I'll be leaving wads of cash in their damn helmet when they leave out the You get a band. You get a big, and I bet you money that I don't even have. They're doing that. You might go into the locker room one day after a big, huge victory. That's what I like to call it, a victory lap. You might, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you playing a bowl game. You play a home game, and you go to the University of Miami. And Florida State comes to town. Both y'all undefeated. Winner goes to the college football playoff. You mean to tell me that a booster ain't finna leave you a victory lap in your helmet when you on the way out of the locker room?
Nope.
Please. That's what I like to call them victory laps, man. Like I said, that's just the stuff they put to you on paper. People don't like to talk about certain penalties that a lot of Super Bowl teams went through. But I'm going to bring this up tomorrow, I think, on my TikTok. People always want to bring up Deflategate and Spygate and stuff like that. Remember, there was a lot of – remember, they was paying guys under the table with the Denver Broncos. There was a lot of controversy with the Dallas Cowboys.
Dude, I don't know. As a Patriots fan, when I go – and I just know, like, did you know Lawrence Taylor was paying prostitutes to go to the other team's hotel to keep the other players up all night to gain an advantage.
Not only that, like I said, that's just the stuff we know about.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's just the shit that we know about. It's kind of like what's on that piece of paper. He signed a $2 million NIL deal. That is not including that victory lap that young man is going to get if he wins a big game in college football and especially if he's at home that night. Like I said, can you imagine Alabama plays in Georgia this year? Can you imagine what's going to happen? We undefeated at home. Can we imagine we defend the home turf in Georgia? Can you imagine what Nathan Frazier's going to get as a victory lap there? But man, that's why I love that pigskin, man. It gets people to talk. But let's get back to it, man. We got to go over the WNBA All Star weekend, man. What was y'all thoughts on the All Star weekend? I'll let y'all go first.
Well, this is a you topic. I had family stuff going on. I didn't get to see any of it.
First off, shout out Nafisa Collier. She was my All-Star game MVP pick. She showed up. and showed out like I figured she was going to. She is just quietly putting together one of the great individual single seasons in the history of the league, and she just doing it. But shout out to the women though for making all the festivities as fun as they were, from just the skills competition up to the game. It's good to see them out on Front Street like that, getting this kind of spotlight, and them actually, kind of, standing up, stepping up to the plate and actually kind of hitting some home runs, even though that game had absolutely no defense at all. We can't. Hey, look at some of the men's games. Those men's games have been some of the worst defensive. Just like, I don't even want to say defense. We just say offense, because there really was no D. The men's All-Star games was that bad in terms of trying to stop somebody. Sabrina Ionescu winning a 3-point contest. No surprise at all. That's what she does. The woman almost beat Steph Curry from the men's line. So what do you expect? Just all in all, just a really just shout out, just really fun. I know we'll get into. We're probably gonna get into the whole thing with the t-shirts and all that stuff after a while, but definitely shout out to them for putting on a good game, putting on a lot of good festivities, and just I just hope they keep building the momentum that they have just been able to just kind of obtain. Just keep it. I just hope they keep it going. Because right now I'm not even worried about anything extracurricular outside of the league right now. I'm just worried about them playing right now, and they're just they're doing good, and I'm happy, and I'm just happy to see them, thriving at a level that they haven't gotten to in a while, in a long time, if ever. So I think all in all, it was just fun. It was just fun. It was a lot of fun.
Okay. I'll start back with UBRF. You mentioned Nafisa Collier winning the All-Star MVP. Is this the beginning of one of the most decorated years in WNBA history? Because I could definitely see her winning the scoring title. She's still a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and she's the leader, despite Asia Wilson kind of coming back off that injury with a vengeance and putting up 35 and 10 in that first game back. Do you still think that she's in the driver's seat in order to win the MVP?
The MVP is still hers to lose. She's been doing it from wire to wire. She's been the most consistent player in the league, wire to wire. It's still hers to lose. And imagine winning the All-Star Game MVP, scoring title MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. The Minnesota Lynx are in championship contention. Imagine if she sweeps everything. If she sweeps everything, and I'm talking All-Star Game MVP, League MVP, scoring title, League Defensive Player of the Year, and then if she can lead the Minnesota Lynx to a title and win the finals MVP, depending on the numbers, we could put it up there as far as greatest single seasons in the history of all of sports. She is doing it, and if she does all that, I think it's easily the single greatest individual season in the history of the league by far. She sweeps all this, but she has just really been. She's been on another level this year. She's been on I've been following the league, and they're talking you talk about the. I feel like we talk about a lot about the usual suspects and all that other stuff, and then all of a sudden I get a glimpse of this Nafisa Collier, and I just see her play, and I see some of her stat lines, and I'm just like, yo, if Asia Wilson's the best player in the league, she's second. And it's almost like she's validating all the talk. And this could definitely, I think if she just runs the table with everything, I think this is the greatest individual season in WNBA history. She just runs the table through everything. And we could really talk about her as far as in upper echelon, as far as greatest seasons in American sports. If she can legit just run the table and do everything, rarefied air. She's just been on this almost God tier of basketball, the way she's been playing. That only maybe like in terms of just individual talents in the league that could like match it. I think I'll be completely honest with you. I think right now, in terms of individual play, I think only Asia can stand up with her right now. She's been that good.
I have to agree with you, man. And the Minnesota Lynx are looking unstoppable right now. So, I mean, plus that injury bug has been biting a lot of teams, including the Phoenix
That is true too.
And Jonquel Jones, she's still out of the lineup for the New York Liberty. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Now, if they get Jonquel Jones back, it's gonna be a whole nother story.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a whole nother story. But I think that the Link, as long as Jonquel Jones is out, they have a chance in order to win. Las Vegas, I believe they're on their way down. I don't know if Asia's going to be there next year. I think as long as Becky Hammond is there, she'll be there. But if I'm her, especially if this collective bargaining agreement goes right, and we'll get to that a little bit later, I think that she will. I think that she will be in Las Vegas, but I would strongly contemplate leaving if I'm her, because that team has definitely went downhill in a hurry. But I have to ask this question, man. We're gonna ask the hard questions last. Hey, look, the highlight of that weekend was Courtney Williams and Teaspoon, doing the live stream, man. Stud Buds. That was the funniest, most adventurous. Hey, man, look, I think the best thing ever was we got to see Kelsey Plum take that crown to the head, bro. That was the most. That's a dangerous moment, right? She took that down. Look at Flash. She caught that damn crown ball and took that sun gun to the head. I said, yeah, that's a dangerous moment right there. But I'm gonna just ask this question, man. With that having as monumental success as it did, can you see other players from different leagues following suit as far as live streaming the entire Super Bowl week, live streaming the entire Pro Bowl week or the All-Star week? Can you see other players from the other leagues doing that, or is this just exclusively something that needs to be for the W and Courtney Williams and Teaspoon? Because there was a lot of stuff we can't say on the air, but that was memorable, dude. I'm like, what? You really look like really? So that was very, very, very cool. And plus, they didn't even have just the players mic'd up. Remember, they mic'd up Marina Mabry, which she's fine as hell, by the way. I was very unfamiliar with her game. So yeah, like I said, I stay in the chocolate factory, but I'll bitch out to the farm and get some vanilla ice cream in a second. But
oh gosh.
But yeah, but Marina Mabry.
No, Joe. Yeah, you're right. No, let me tell you, I was unfamiliar with Marina Mabry's game too. There was one where she was walking out and they showed the fit, and she had on this red dress, and I was just like, oh, so this is what you bring to the table. I was unfamiliar with your game. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that whole thing was memorable. They mic'd up the audience, the players that were good, but unfortunately they were hurt this year. But I think that was a good live stream. They mic'd up the players. They mic'd up the players in the audience. They got a chance to interview all the players. They interviewed Bam Adebayo. They asked Asia Wilson who would win between her and her boyfriend, Bam Adebayo. All types of stuff. They, according to Williams, tried to get into the club. She didn't leave until they made sure everybody got in. It was memorable, man. Do you think other players should do live streams like that from other leagues?
Oh boy, I could definitely see the NBA following suit. Like I could definitely see the men following suit and doing something like that when All-Star weekend comes back around for them. I could definitely see them following suit. We also just got out of a Major League All-Star week in Atlanta. And let me tell you, the home run derby was awesome. The game itself was probably one of the best All-Star games I've seen in a while. Just off of the swing off at the end alone, They ended in a 6-6 tie. They went
By
to
the
a
way,
swing off. I
great
think
idea.
that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
We've seen now the Major League Baseball and the NHL make their All-Star game unique and different, and it went off beautifully. Bravo. Bravo for as much as I was crapping on crappy ideas earlier, bravo on great ideas.
Yes.
Bravo, Major League Baseball.
Yes, because that swing off was one of the coolest things I've seen to end the game like that. And I was watching that game. Like I finally turned it to, like I didn't watch a lot of it, but I turned it like midway in the game and I just kept it there. And then the American League was able to come back, tie it up 6-6. And then it's like, oh, we're about to do a swing off. I ain't gonna lie. When they announced those names for both leagues, I'm like, yeah, man, National League got this on lock. They got this on lock because the National League was. They started with Ryan Stowers of the Miami Marlins, who's recently has been just like one of the hottest hitters in baseball. And then as soon as I heard, then okay, it was him, it was Kyle Stowers, it was Ryan, it was Kyle Schwarber, and it was Pete Alonso would have been 3. As soon as I heard Kyle Schwarber as the number 2, I'm like, man, this is over because he's gonna hit 3 homers. But yeah, like just shout out I think. I definitely see the men's league, the NBA following suit next year. I think it definitely Major League. Honestly, with Major League Baseball, they already they dibbling that already a little bit. So I'm not really too concerned with Major League Baseball because a lot of their players do stuff like that already. The NFL, I could definitely see them do it Pro Bowl. I could definitely see them doing it Pro Bowl week because I mean it's not really like. I mean, that game really isn't that important anymore. It's mainly just the festivities and stuff like that now. So the NFL, I could definitely see them doing something like that. Just wherever they're holding the Pro Bowl at, just, showing the city off, all the different events and the different festivities and stuff like that. Because I mean, us as fans, we're not worried about the game anymore anyway. So, that's definitely something if I could see the NFL doing as well. So I wouldn't mind it. I mean, don't get as wild as the WNBA did, but I mean that's just one. Don't get as wild as they did. Don't get as wild as they did. But it's just one of those things where it's like it was I don't know, man. It was something different. Hey, I can't knock the fun. I can't knock the attempt at having fun.
I just want to say something.
Uh-oh.
This kind of goes to the women's sports and then the physical play of the WNBA. And like if you go back to the women's World Cup team too, and them live streaming on Instagram and just acting a fool and being just straight up a-holes, and it's refreshing to see. It just is. Because men's sports, we can't be too physical now. Now we got the NFL and all these namby-pamby rules. We can't hurt anybody. And in the NBA, you can't come off the bench and, God forbid somebody gives somebody else a black eye. Like, how terrible. Oh, and these women, they're just beating the shit out of each other. And I'm here to say, and they're acting the fools on live stream and acting all offensive and shit. I am here to say I am for it and keep going because this is how you're going to bring some more eyeballs to it. Because we live in an era still. We're still in an era where everybody is looking for shit that's authentic. And these girls are just being themselves. Whether it be petty, stupid bullshit and girly drama, which I don't really care for. That's the part I don't care about. But all the other stuff, like, dude, I want to see Sophie Cunningham give somebody a Muay Thai knee under the basket. Please do. Like, let's just go. Like, just have an old Conor McGregor UFC fight right underneath the basket. Like, let's let them go. Like, just let's have some fun. I don't care if the refs are terrible, which they are. They're really bad. But
dog shit bad.
Yeah, they're dog shit. Like my geriatric dog that died 3 years ago would have done a better reffing job than these guys do. Like, it's just yeah. So I just it's just so bad. But on all the fun stuff, please do. Please.
I think one of the funniest moments when you saw Aaliyah Boston, you know what Aaliyah Boston's nickname is, right? They call her the Caitlyn De-Escalator, right? So Caitlyn Clark was on the live stream, dancing. And the only thing I remember seeing is Aaliyah Boston reaching over while Caitlyn Clark was talking and snatching up him. That was a classic. And that's the only thing you see. He said, "Did y'all see how smooth she snatched Caitlyn Clark's beer away?" She was making one of them mango white claws, one of them damn things. It's like, you see how smooth she pulled up beer that way? It's kind of like how Michael Finley, he saw Luka drinking that damn beer in the lobby while he was celebrating it. He said, and he went over there and took his beer away from him. But she waited till she turned her back and then reached over and grabbed the beer from him. But yeah, man, that was memorable, man. It was a lot of little moments in that live stream that was that was memorable. Hey, man, I ain't never thought I would see somebody be willing to crash out over somebody.
But
I ain't gonna say no names, but yeah, I ain't never thought I would see somebody thirsting after somebody like that. That was a thirsty moment.
I will. They're in a very unique situation right now. So, like, this kind of goes to what you're talking about, like with the live stream, or more leagues into it. We are now seeing players come into all the leagues that literally grew up with social media as the norm. As that's been part of they've been broadcasting themselves since they were kids.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing these players like come into so you're going to see that a lot more. And I am the old man in me is not for it, but it's going to be entertaining and fun as long as it doesn't get stupidly out of control.
Don't take the camera to Magic City, whatever you do. Just being real.
Well, I mean, if it's Sophie Cunningham and she's taken to places like that, I'm okay with it.
I'm all for it.
I'm just going to be a guy. I'm just going to be a guy. Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with it.
Yeah, just don't make sure she don't end up on black. She'll be all right.
Dude, I was just on TikTok. I was just on TikTok and somebody, I was just on TikTok a minute ago, and somebody, the video was Sophie Cunningham talking after practice, and she looked terrible. Like terrible. And she was talking about like to tell Kathy to pay us or something like that or whatever. And somebody in the comment section, this wasn't even on her channel, on her TikTok channel. Somebody was like, "Man, that's a rough looking 28." She did look rough. And she goes, "That's what like a bunch of booze and days of no sleep will do to you." So yeah, I look pretty rough. So like that's the thing. Market these girls' personalities. That's what you got to do. That's how you get eyeballs.
Market the personalities.
Market it.
Man, look, I have a personality, man. Stop, BRF. But nobody probably caught that but your ass. But,
I caught it.
But,
I'm crying. Oh, Jesus.
Funny as hell, but but hey, I'm always gonna sneak something in this pipe bomb.
Oh, boy, that wasn't no pipe bomb. That was a nuke. The hell you talking about?
But hey, look, regardless of the jokes, man, I respect these young ladies, man, for their athletic ability.
Facts.
And I've said this before on PSP's podcast, man. We give these ladies grief for being as physical as they are, but in that same breath, we criticize the NBA for how non-physical they are. Like, and when we do that, we're talking out of two sides of our necks at this point.
Can't have it both ways.
Yeah, you can't say the NBA is soft. This is the softest era in the NBA, but then when these women go out here and play physical and play bad boy Pistons basketball, bad boy Pistons and Boston Celtics basketball, then we want to sit around, they're fouling too much. It's physical.
That's what I've been saying for weeks now. I've been saying everybody's been bitching about how the NBA is too soft, and now we get it, and everybody's complaining that the WNBA, they're too rough. I'm like, nah, let them go. Like I said, I want to see Sophie Cunningham give a Muay Thai knee to the face to somebody. Let's go.
Yes, yeah, because she, I believe Jason Shelton would have did so much as wipe her nose sideways, she'd have needed the head.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was a real. I love that live stream, man. That live stream. Look, when we make it, guys, y'all are not live streaming me. I'm putting the poosh. If you try that, I'm gonna put the poosh ice on. I'm just being real, but I'm just being real. So,
don't get it back in blood, champ. Don't get it back in blood, champ.
So yeah, we put the poosh ice on, but yeah, I'm not finna be filmed live stream because I could not be live streamed for 72 hours straight because I know I'm gonna do something dumb. I know I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm gonna run in the street when I'm not supposed to, or some bad joke that I'm gonna do. I'm known for me and my guy Big Cal, shout out to Cal. We known for going places and getting lost. So we known for going to places and getting lost.
Yep. Okay. That's all you need. That's all you needed to say right there. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So yeah, I would not enjoy being live stream for 72 hours straight because I know I'm gonna make a mistake and say something stupid. So that's just who I am. I'm gonna say something dumb. I'm gonna say something to make somebody laugh, and somebody's gonna deem it as offensive. So, but on the flip side of that coin, that's what get people going, man. That's what get people going. All right. Tonight, ladies, we're gonna start the hard stuff. All right, let's go back and stick with the W. What are your thoughts about the players standing in solidarity this past weekend with the Payers Like You Owe Us shirts on and the things like that? I'm gonna go first on this one. I don't usually go first, but I am. I admire it. Good job. But I'm gonna let you go on your rant in a minute. That's like I'm leading up to it to kind of build. It's kind of like pass the mic, and I'm gonna pass the mic to you. It's kind of like be unified completely. Don't be throwing no shade. Don't be doing none of that. Make sure that you are unified completely. Because if they sense one crack in the dam, then it's going to be a lot of stuff that you don't really need. So I admire your unity. I admire your you standing together. And the thing is, before I give it to Flash, I'm going to go over a few things. It's not just money that they're asking for. I'm going to break this down to the audience, and this is why I went first. Right now, there's 4 ways that the WNBA holds players back. They have an overseas ban for players finishing their contract with their overseas teams. Like if they go overseas, if they're not back to their prospective team by, let's say, April or March, while college basketball is still going on, they get fined. That's one. Number 2, they limit their endorsement deals. So let's say if somebody is a direct competitor with the W, let's say if Yo Play Yogurt is a sponsor of the W, and let's say the Greek yogurt company wants to sponsor me, I can't do that. And there's only a limited amount of sponsorships that I can have. They have their business restrictions outside of basketball. League rules limit the ventures inside that involve basketball and media. So if they want to prevent somebody to stop, if they wanted to stop Unrivaled, they would have had a good premonition in order to do so, because they try to limit their business ventures inside of basketball and media. Like if somebody wanted to start up a basketball network, they couldn't start it. And they don't have full brand control. They can't fully monetize their own footage or their likeness. And they don't even get parts of their jersey sales at this point. At one point, the NBA wasn't either. You know how the NBA got their jersey sale money? How the NBA was able to get their jersey sale money is Magic Johnson called up David Stern and told him, he said, look, we're not getting paid like we're supposed to from our jersey sales. It's our jerseys. and he gave him some BS excuse. He said, "Well, I got an idea. I'm gonna call Larry tonight, and I'm gonna call Michael tonight, and we're gonna sit out next year."
Yeah.
And David Stern damn near had a conniption when Matt heard him that. But people always talk about Michael Jordan, but Magic is the reason why the NBA gets their jersey sales. The WNBA players, they don't even get part of their jersey sales. They can't capitalize on their likeness, their images, or anything. So when people talk about money, it's more than just money itself that you owe, that I want you to pay. Because I can deal with making $75,000 a year if I'm able to capitalize and become a millionaire off the court. That's why you see Angel Reese, Nafisa Coyer, Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers. That's how come you see them going out of their mind in order to get these endorsement deals, because it's good money that's going to supplement the income that they're not getting. So people think it's just a money grab. It's more than just that. Like I said, I can handle making $100,000 a year to play basketball if you let me fully monetize myself. But you're not letting me do that, and you're holding me back, and that's like I'm asking for that.
Yeah, but what if they're allowed to do that kind of stuff? How's the WNBA holding them back from that? Honest, legit question. I'm not being a dick. I'm just like,
no, they limit the endorsements that they have. Like they can only have a certain amount of endorsement. In the NBA, you can have unlimited endorsements.
Really?
And yeah, and like I stated earlier, let's say hypothetically speaking, we're the league, and Yo Play Yogurt sponsors us.
Okay.
If the Greek yogurt company says, "Hey, Stephon, BRF, we want to sponsor you, Flash, and BRF," well, we can't do that because they're a direct competitor to the W or the league. Whereas other leagues, they don't give a shit what you do.
Well, no, that's not true. Like if you're on an NFL, like if you like Bose is like an official, like the official headphone or whatever of the NFL. Like if you're an NFL player, if you're on the field before the game, you can't be wearing like Beats headphones or something like that.
Yeah, so you can't wear it, but you can still endorse it.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Product.
Yes.
Like because we've seen Richard Sherman endorse Beats by Dre. Well, they're Beats now.
Yes, I'm just saying you can't wear
it. Yes. Otherwise, they will find your ass. Yes. If you don't believe that, just ask Jim McMahon. But
yeah,
and I know I'm going back way back, but that's a prime example because remember he wore a Rouge, an Adidas headband, and they fined him for that because But the thing is, he still got an opportunity to endorse that product. Although he
commercial, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't care about you telling me I can't wear something because they're not an endorser of the NBA or the W in this case. But if I can supplement my income and make up for the money that I'm losing, time away from, because guess what? It's more than just money. It's time away from family. It's time away from friends. It's time away from, especially if you're a mother in this league or even a father. Guess what? You have to make up for the time that you're not there, childcare, stuff like that. But when I'm not able to monetize fully off of everything, then guess what? That's a problem. So that's how come I don't have no problem with them staying there. But I will say this before I let you go into your rant, which I cannot wait to hear. Show a united front. Please do that. Don't be throwing nobody under the damn bus doing that shit. That's not going to show unity at all. Don't be cracking no jokes. Don't be doing none of that because guess what? If they sense a crack in the dam, then guess what? It's going to get ugly quick. You can throw a hell of a lot more of a mighty blow when you're together. So don't be throwing each other under the bus even more slightly. And that's where you come in, Flash.
All right. I'll give my opinion out on the collective bargaining agreement first. After doing a little bit more research on it, if the projections are true that they are going to turn a profit for the first time with the new television agreement and everything else, then they definitely deserve a bigger piece of the pie. And if they're limited on what they can do endorsement-wise, that's insane. I'm surprised like the players union haven't sued on that already. I'm actually really shocked by that. But that being said, Kelsey Plum. How fucking stupid can you be? And you go on national television, you have one of the best weekends in sports. You have your All-Star League, you have unity among the players, and you throw the golden goose, the cash cow, the whole reason that anybody gives a shit about your ass straight up under the bus. Joke or not. Like, why? Why? Why would you do something like that? Like, this is the girly drama crap part that, like, will drive people away because it looks stupid. Like, regardless of whether she could have been drunk or not, even her teammate, just, you could see it on camera. Her teammate literally just did this. Like, what are you doing? Like, what, like, the whole petty Caitlin Clark thing has got to go away. Like, I'm actually now, everybody, like, the thing about, we were just talking about the WNBA and letting them play 80, 90 style of basketball. I actually don't feel bad for Caitlin Clark when it comes to her getting the shit kicked out of her because, dude, we watched Jordan go through that for years. We watched everybody target.
Go through that with the Boston Celtics with their dirty asses.
We watched everybody go after Wayne Gretzky for years, and they had to go get goons to protect them. It is what it is. You know what? If you're going to be the top dog, then you just got that comes with the territory. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the refs need to be a lot better, but this petty Caitlin Clark crap has got to go. Like, jokes aside, or whether it's jokes or not, know where you're at. Have some self-awareness. Like, you're not helping the situation. And, like, we've already had a couple of viral moments of Kelsey Plum, like, turning down fans. Now, whether you can you can think that maybe that dude was creepy, but you're not in a position right now to be turning down fans for autographs like you're somebody else. Like you're something else. Like, you don't get the luxury going like, nah, I'm not giving you that autograph because reasons. You just give the autograph, you say thank you very much, and you move along on your way. Because 2 minutes ago, nobody gave a rat's ass who you were. And you guys have been complaining and whining about, we need eyeballs, and we need this, and we need that. You don't get to say no right now. And that sounds kind of fucked up to say, considering I'm talking about a women's league right now, but you understand the context. You don't get to say no right now. So just a little bit more self-awareness, please. But hey, look, go get that bag. If they literally are going to turn a profit, that's fine. I am all for getting that bag. But if they're not actually going to turn a profit, like if those numbers, if those projections are off, then I think the argument is really silly. I do think, though, that this is very poorly timed. It really sucks for them that the CBA agreement is not ending after next year, where they have chambers in the magazine, and they just don't. That's the problem.
Well, the thing is, coming out the hat on this one, they opted out of it, and I don't think that was a great idea.
Yes, you're right. Yes, that was. Sorry, I misspoke. You're absolutely right. They opted out of it, and that was stupid.
I don't think they should have opted out of it. I think they should have looked at it and said this. Look, we have an opportunity here. Let's wait till the best opportunity that you ever going to have with any job is if you got some leverage.
Yeah.
You don't go to your boss and tell him and ask him for a raise until another job offers you some more money.
Yeah.
And that's what we do in the real world. We wait till we got enough. Okay, this place over here, I really don't want to work for them. I really want to stay here. But I know if I go tell my boss that they're willing to pay me $40 an hour there, and I'm just going to be part of a team versus the work I'm doing here, and I'm the best employee here, if I go to him and say, hey, this right here is going on, guess what? He'll be more than willing to pay me. So, yeah, I'll say this. Don't make your move too soon. Don't count your eggs before they hatch. Because, it came at a very, very bad time. Because the thing is, y'all opted out, and who could have predicted the injury bug was going to bite the NBA, WNBA in the ass all year long? That injury bug has been biting prior to the All-Star break.
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark got hurt, Asia Wilson got hurt, Satu Sabali got hurt, Angel Reese was out for a game. You had that injury bug. I mean, Cooper, she was out for a long period of time. She was out for a long period of time before the Phoenix Mercury got her back. There was a lot of injury bugs that bit a lot of teams. So, yeah, I think they really should have waited until, like, hey, let's see how this year goes on. Let's see how much we've gotten. And, that way we can bring them to the table. Okay, because the thing is, you have everything going in your favor. The thing is,
yeah, you do.
The attendance has gone up 15% from last year, 15.5% from last year.
Which is huge. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's massive.
That's massive. Ticket sales has gone up. You have teams that are selling out damn near every single game. Look at the Valkyrie, who's an expansion team.
They're worth like what, $250 million now?
Yeah, no, they're
already.
They're worth $500 million. They're the most valuable team in the league. Yeah, $500 million. So, and they've made over $100 million without merchandising or anything else. This is just tickets and in-game stuff in the gate. They've already made millions. So I think they should have waited. I mean, the highest selling teams right now in the W is the Indiana Fever, the Golden State Valkyrie, and the Indiana Fever, and the Las Vegas Aces. Those are the highest selling teams right now in the league. Their games sell out damn near every they damn near selling out every single game.
I think it's actually hard to get an Indiana Fever ticket now. Like it's like difficult here's the funny thing. They've done this with poor marketing. I'm still banging that drum. I still think the marketing, it's getting better, but it's nowhere near where it should be yet.
I don't think it's getting better on the part of the WNBA. No. I think players have banded together and say, if you don't promote our product, then we will promote it. Yeah. That's how come you saw the live streams. That's how come you see, hey, the players were out there giving away free sneakers during the All-Star break. I remember Kelsey Plum, she was giving away smoothies and giving away shoes. I remember Angel Reese, she was walking out the stadium giving away T-shirts. I remember Asia Wilson, she was giving away shoes. Remember Nafisa Collier, her team from the Jordan brand, they pulled up on the All-Star game right after she won the All-Star MVP, had trucks around the whole entire stadium in order to, commemorate her for that. I don't think it's the W that's doing a good job. I think the players are saying, okay, we're going to promote the product. I mean, and I think that was a good thing. And I think that live stream did a hell of a lot to shine the light. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say the only thing that I've seen so far that Caitlin Clark Nike Mamba commercial, that was cool as shit though.
Yes, indeed.
That was cool. So other than that, that's the only marketing I've really seen like commercial wise, and I'm like, ooh. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, champ. I apologize.
And I'm glad that they did that live stream. Another reason why I'm glad they did that live stream is because it showed how they really are friends. A lot of them really are. They just beat the shit out of each other. Because I didn't realize how cool Courtney Williams and Caitlin Clark was. I didn't realize how cool Flau'jae and Caitlin Clark was. I didn't realize how cool Flau'jae and Paige was beyond anything. I mean, I think even Juju Watkins was at the game. All the unrivaled people was at the game. So I'm glad they shine a light on, we all friends, we all cool, we all hang, and, After the game, we're going to take a beer, we're going to take a drink, we might even go to the club together. But when we get on that damn court, it's a whole nother ball game. So I'm glad that shined a light on the league as well. But I think it was a bad time. Like I said, I stand with these ladies for getting paid. I want to see you getting paid. The thing is, if you really, really ask me, there should be 5 players making at least $2 million a year in that league. And that's Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier, and there's another. There's one more.
Let's see. Caitlin Clark, Nafisa Collier, Asia Wilson. We're talking about best players in the league. Breonna Stewart.
Those 3 should be, and I put Sabrina Ionescu in that conversation.
I put Sabrina in that. I put Sabrina in that too.
They should be making at minimum $3 million a year. So yeah, so I really think that there needs to be some reform. If you're not going to let me make my money on the court, at least let me make it off the court so I can supplement that income. So I think there should be a lot of reform, but y'all got to be careful. Don't always show a united front.
Well, did you guys hear? I don't know whose live stream he was on. Did you hear Draymond Green talk about the t-shirt thing?
Oh, what did he say?
He was basically said, and there's some truth to this. He goes, "You guys, it's all great and all, but you guys are just coming across like you're complaining right now. You're not showing the steps on why and what you need, because mostly everybody's rebuttal. This is what he said. Everybody's is where's the revenue? Where's this money supposed to come from? And so I think the league, I think the players, and I think the Players Association has done a poor job of saying, this is how we're going to get this money, and this is why we're asking for this. And I think that's kind of goes to your point that they need to be a little careful on how they do this, because they might. I think they'll get their bag. I'm just
gonna say this. The reason why I was so against it is because, look, right now you have the most momentum that you've probably ever had since the Houston Comets had the Big Four. This is the most since the Houston Comets had the Big Four, and they was facing Lisa Leslie in the finals. This is the most momentum that you've ever had. And I'm going to just be real. Me and you can relate to this, Flash. You stopping a work stoppage right now in the WNBA is kind of like one of us stopping while you're in the middle of a weight loss program. It's hard. No,
you're right.
It's hard to get that momentum. You stop working out for a week and watch how hard it is for you to get that momentum back.
Yeah.
And I believe there's been very, very few leagues that can experience a work stoppage and the fans are going to instantly come back. We saw this with baseball. Their fans didn't instantly come back the way they wanted them to, even after the strike years. We saw it with the NHL when they had the strike. The league has never been the same again. The only 2 leagues that have really just said, despite a strike, despite a work stoppage, it just kept going on, was the NFL when they had the lockout season, and basketball, the men's side of it, when they had a lockout season. That's why I was solely against it, because what happens when you have a work stoppage during the middle of the damn summer, and now it extends all the way into August, and now the season doesn't start until August, and now you have to compete with the NFL.
Yeah, he ain't competing with Daddy.
I'm sorry. But the thing is, I'm going to just be real.
That's Daddy.
Even hardcore fans like myself, I have to buy 2 TVs. But what's going to go on that big screen TV is that pigskin.
Dude, I have a sports bar in my basement. I'm telling you right now, NFL season, there's no WNBA going on my TV.
So, yeah. But the thing is, and people, and look, I admire for you telling the truth, but I got to buy a second TV in order to hang up on this damn wall so I can watch the W, because what's going to go on the big screen is the NFL. But the thing is, what happens if you don't get that done? The season extends to August. You don't start the season until August or late July. Now you have to play the season now you have too much to compete with.
Well, but that's my point, though. Like, you guys are more hardcore fans of the WNBA. I'm a casual. I'll just admit it. But where you bring in the money is you bring in the casuals.
Yes, and the thing is, during the summer is the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
During the summer is the perfect opportunity. You have the perfect storm in the summer because really, to be honest with you, there's no story during the summer. Baseball, it takes a long time to get a narrative going.
Wait, I need to piggyback off that right now. Just a quick shout out to my Milwaukee Brewers. The LA Times called my Milwaukee Brewers possibly America's team right now because they're so hot and playing well. So you're talking about a baseball narrative. We have our baseball narrative right now, and it's my hometown Milwaukee Brewers. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Brewers sometime in this game because they've been playing amazingly stupid baseball. Anywho,
yes. But you see how long it takes to get that narrative?
Yep.
There's really no narratives in baseball until you start to get into the hunt for Red October.
Yeah.
Unless there's a big time free agent signing, there is no narrative in football during the summer other than free agency. There is no narrative in basketball. It's in men's basketball. It's ending. So you have the perfect storm during the summer saying, hey, why don't we go to Atlanta and go watch Alicia Gray play? Or let's watch Brittany Griner play. Let's go watch these women play while we're off on the summer. You have this, and the thing is, then you have the camp kids, the summer camp kids. They're coming to the games now. They're going to the games. So that's the perfect storm. That's your bread and butter. What you don't need to happen is this. A work stoppage to happen. You got to start the season in August, and now you got to try to get viewers during August, September, October, November. I'm going to tell you just like this. Look, I want y'all to look at me in this camera when I say this. I want you to look at it. It's hard as hell to get me to go to a wedding during football season. I'm going to say that again. The hardcore football fan that I am, and I know there's a lot of men just like me, it's hard as hell to get up off my ass for me to go to a wedding or something important during football season. They had a wine festival. Lord knows I love wine. They had a wine festival in Columbus, Georgia. It only cost $5 to get in, and you can drink all day. You know what I did when and that very same day, Georgia and Alabama was playing. Guess where I was?
Watch football.
I was in the game.
So yes, it's hard as hell for you to get. It's hard as hell to get a hardcore football fan off their ass for something important during football season, and that's something important. You playing it? Look, look. It's documented in the South. It's documented that they tell people, Alabama fans, Georgia fans, they tell people, do not plan your wedding on a Saturday or during a big game because I ain't coming. It's documented. So the last thing that y'all need to happen is for a work stoppage to happen, and you have to start the season in August of next year because you're not going to get any damn viewers. I can tell you that right now, because between college football, the hunt for Red October, and the NFL, and then you have the NBA starting up, it's going to be tough to compete. It's going to be tough to compete. So that's like how I advised against it. And if the CBA and if the WNBA and the Players Association knows what's good for them, they're going to try. They need to try to get something done quick, because if that extends into the offseason and the draft comes around, you still don't have anything done, and it extends into July, it's going to get tenuous. And the thing is, you saw what happened in COVID. That's how come, a lot of viewers left during COVID because, you know, it happened during the summer. There was no WNBA during the summer, you know. So during COVID, remember the New York Liberty was playing in a small coliseum, one of the little gyms. So you guys got to get it together. I'm talking about on both sides because you got to realize what's at stake. Your viewers are here, but you're not in a position to make them miss you.
No,
you're not in a position to make them miss you, or for them to be beating down the damn door saying, "Give us back our dub." Even the hardcore fans like myself, who's been watching for years, you're not in that position right now to be having them beat down the door saying, "We want." They're not going to cuss out Commissioner Kathy like fans was cussing out Roger Goodell. You remember what they did to Roger Goodell every time he came to that damn podium when they had the NFL lockout, when they drafted Cam Newton first overall? The only thing you heard was, "We want football." And they booed his ass off that stage every time he came up there.
Yep. They still boo him every time he goes to the NBA or the draft. It's like a timeout of tradition.
I've never seen a commission just so hated.
Dude.
Paul Tagliabue, Pete Rozelle, those guys were respected. They were not hated. People hate fucking Roger Goodell.
Yeah, I do.
But you're not in that position right now for people to be saying, "We want." If you have a lockout during, let's say, the end of college football season, people are not going to be saying, "We want basketball." That whole ballroom is not going to be saying, "We want basketball," like they said with the NFL. And if it extends and we don't get to see our favorite college players and stuff like that, it's going to be a whole nother ball game. Because right now you have another fresh crop of players that's coming out. You got Aussie coming out. You have Flau'jae Johnson coming out. You have the young lady who's the center. She's coming out. I don't know if Juju's coming out as of yet, but you have a lot of these great players that are coming out next year that have already signed with the unrivaled league. We got all of these great players coming out next year that we all know are great. Flau'jae Johnson probably is the biggest star outside of Aussie Fudd and Juju Watkins coming out next year because we see her every single day, whether it be in music or basketball. So I'm gonna just be real, you fuck this up, you're gonna be looking at the same thing that you had going on back during COVID. And right now, you don't have the casual and the hardcore fan base to be beating down the doors in New York saying, "We want basketball" right now. So the NBA and the Players Association got to get it together and fast. I enjoy the solidarity, but the thing is, as far as the commissioner and everybody else concerned, you got to realize something. If you don't give these players a little bit of wiggle room, not only are you playing them, you're playing your damn self. Because right now, you only have one cash cow right about now that everybody's trying to see. And then you got Nafisa Corey. Then you got Asia. Then you got Angel. You only have a few players you're not doing a good job at advertising your damn product. The players are doing it for you. So with all of that being said, you got to get it together on both sides. Because guess what? We get to next June, May or June, and the finals get ready to end, and now we're getting ready for women's basketball season, and there's no basketball for 2 months on the women's side, and all of a sudden, look what's about to happen in just another week. What are we going to be talking about next week?
NFL season.
And what month are we going to be still in?
July.
Okay, so guess what? You finna have a lot of shit to compete with. If it starts in July this year, imagine how early they're going to start it next year. And unfortunately, you can put LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Karl Malone, and anybody on the best basketball game. It's not going to beat the sorriest NFL game.
No.
As far as ratings goes. So both sides got to get it together. Anything you want to add, BRF?
Not too much. I will say this though: the solidarity was a good sign, but no, like y'all pretty much hit it on the head. Like if you're gonna do this, y'all got every single one of y'all got to be all in. There can't be like no no division, no cracks, no none of that. Like if you go, if like this is like the most, I mean, this is like the most important moment in the history of this league. Like if they're gonna do it, they gotta like put their best foot forward. Otherwise, like the casual fan's not gonna take the league serious as a whole if they can't, if they're not really like for each other in this, and that's more work on them that they're gonna have to do. But they're gonna have to do it if nothing really materializes or come through like it need to. So yeah, they're definitely gonna have to really, really, really stand united and stand with one another for this to really for it to really kind of go through and for it to work like they want it to. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I really wanted to add to it.
Okay, so just real quick. Marcus Smart to the Lakers. If healthy, can the Lakers win the chip?
I still don't know. Marcus Smart isn't like a he's not like a game changing type of signing. Like
Not anymore.
I can see. I mean, the Lakers are like the roster that they have currently. I think they're not a playing team. I'll give them top six. I'll give them top six, possibly potentially top four with the roster they have. They're going to compete, but as far as championship, I don't know. I still feel like that roster they have is still real. Like it still feel like it's just like mismatch here and there. I still don't feel like a full like they haven't done like as far as like improving their roster. They haven't done like what Atlanta's done. They haven't done like they haven't done what Houston's done. They haven't done like what some of these other teams have done as far as improving their roster. So I think they're gonna compete, but I don't think they're like a championship contending team out west.
Okay.
Not quite. I mean, I think signing Smart helps. Doesn't hurt.
It does.
But I don't
It's
know.
not that specialty move.
Well, I look at it this way. I mean, we don't even know if LeBron's going to be a Laker the whole year.
I don't look.
I know he's got. I think he's the only player that has a no trade clause right now, but we don't know. So I mean, I'm kind of,
Hey,
the first 2 months of the season for the LA Lakers are pretty much going to write the story for the entire season. Because if they get off to a slow start first 2 months of the season, bro, like that. I mean, you already hearing a lot about LeBron as far as like, is he going to retire? Is he going to go someplace else? If they get off to a slow start the first 2 months of the season, it's only going to amplify and intensify.
Yeah.
I could definitely see him going back to Cleveland, but yeah. Real quick, 30 seconds apiece. Football is back in 1 week. What are the things you're most looking forward to? One thing.
I'm always excited about like the new rosters, how they've improved, how they're gonna the changes that these teams have made, how it's really gonna go into the next season, and how the camaraderie that these teams are gonna build up. I think that's usually what I'm most excited about as far as like going into each individual season. It's like the rosters that did the most improving, how they're gonna come into this season, and how they're gonna take that big step into like really, winning and contending.
What am I looking forward to the most? I know everybody thinks that the Eagles are the top team in the league, and I think they pretty much are. But I do think that the depth of the league right now is great, and I'm looking forward to seeing, how this plays out. Like, I think we have a lot of talent. I don't think I don't think we don't have like all-time talent or anything like that in the league, but I do think it's crazy how deep the league is right now. I'm actually excited for my New England Patriots for the first time since Brady left. So, I think they still have a long ways to go, but I'd say as a Patriots fan, I'm excited. I think if the Packers can stay healthy as a Packer fan too, and that's be my home team, I'm excited for that. Honestly, I'm excited just to see the NFC North. Honest to God, I think that's the most possibly entertaining division right now. You have so many question marks, but so much talent at the same time. So I'd say that's what I'm looking for. The NFC North. That's what I'm looking forward to.
What I'm most looking forward to in general is just the excitement I feel Friday to Sunday. Well, Friday to Monday. No disrespect to any other sport, because I watch damn near everything. I watch tennis, but there's nothing like waking up early in the morning at 8 o'clock, cleaning up your house, knowing that a hell of a football game is about to be played on television today. There's nothing like knowing that today Georgia is, even teams you root against, there's nothing like waking up on Saturday morning and saying, today is a day you're calling up the friends, you're saying, hey, what I need to bring over there. Hey, man, don't forget to grab the beer. Don't forget to grab the chicken wings. Don't forget to grab the ribs, the fish, whatever. And you know a hell of a game of that pigskin is coming on. I think the holiday season should be called August through February, because that's when guys like myself feel the most excitement. Because from August to February, when you wake up on Saturday morning, boom, that game coming on today. The minute you wake up, it's something about waking up for college football Saturday that just intensifies the excitement. It gets the dopamine just going in your brain. Even if teams that are not so good playing, it's just that somebody's going to play today some football today. And that's what I look forward to. That feeling of knowing football is going to be played. And we will be back next week with our Football Is Back show. We will still continue to cover the W, but we all know that pigskin will reign supreme. Anything else that you gentlemen want to add?
You can go, Flash.
No, I'm pretty good for the night.
Hey, what can I say? This show been a really, really good show. Kind of hate I had to take off like I did, just look some technical stuff. But hey, all in all, I'm always excited to really get on here and talk with y'all. And yeah, man, it's just what we do, man. It's another exciting episode. I feel like it's what we do. I mean, Mondays have really kind of started to really take shape for us as far as like the format and just everything we've been doing. And I'm just excited at the progress that we made, and I'm excited to see where it can go. So I'm for us really, thriving and succeeding with this. So,
hey, and let's not forget, as we end the show, we the goats, we ain't the sheep. On that note, have a hell of a night. See you next week.